Yep, I'm live. We got people in the chat. Got people in my chat. What's good, y'all? It's Sean P, the Bluff guy, and I'm here with Mr. Best Generations. I'm gonna let Best Gen introduce himself.
Yeah. Good evening, or for me, it's evening in Europe. My channel is called Best Generation. I'm doing cringe, YouTube analysis, theories, conspiracies. We're going nuts over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we are about. That's what we are known for. I hope. I think.
That's what I know. That's what I know you
We're not
for.
so known yet.
That's what I know you for,
maybe
though.
Yeah.
You known over here,
That's
so.
what Bluff got.
And y'all know me, Sean P, the Bluff God. I do reaction streams to YouTube content creators. I also do One Piece chapter discussions as well. So I do got my own original stuff. I do those on Sundays, and I will be doing some theories. I do got a couple theories in mind that I'm thinking of, but
Okay,
I'm not.
I see what it is. I want to hear them.
I'm not much of a theorist. Well, it's pretty much about Mihawk, right? It's Mihawk and observation hockey.
I'm writing this down, man. I'm gonna remind you. I wanna know Mihawk. Interesting. I like Mihawk. One of my faves.
Yeah. That's my. If you look at my design, it's pretty much Mihawk inspired. So I'm a big Mihawk fan.
I've seen a similarity. I've seen a thing. So I think I can see it.
I'm gonna shout out some of you guys in the chat. I might not get enough time to really shout, talk about the chat and what they're saying. Like, I'm not gonna be able to read chats through this stream. Sorry, guys. We got topics to talk about, and we will also be reacting to a video. So,
so yeah, hot stuff ahead. Thank you for having me. I didn't say this before. I just got reminded. So yeah, thank you very much.
And thank you for having me on your channel as well, because this is a dual stream right now. So yeah, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Wait a second, this is a dual stream. You mean I'm streaming it live too?
Oh, I thought you was streaming. Okay.
I didn't know.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I thought you said you were streaming as well. My bad. That's my fault. I thought you. But I'm gonna hit the record on this though, because I haven't even been recording. So if you want some of the if you want any footage,
I will look at record. That's right.
Or you're gonna record?
Good thinking.
Okay, cool.
No, I got it.
All right. Yeah, if you record, it's cool because since I'm streaming, I don't need to record. But yeah, okay.
I think my PC couldn't handle it, all of that stuff. It would be too much. It would be way too much.
I feel you. We got Desnes in the chat. We got Cube in the chat. He said I'll be on and off. Desnes says I'm always ready. Then we got Nikita Poop. Elbow cough, elbow cough, elbow cough.
Did I make it by accident black and white?
Yeah.
What did I click?
Yeah.
Fuck, what did I click?
You're looking very Norrish right now. And Desmond said the collab of the year. But he also said, hello, fellow pirates. Shout out to Desmond. Shout out to Nikita Poop. And shout out to Cube.
Shout out to everybody. Nikita Poop, Cube, and Mugiwara Desnes. All three known names now.
So yeah.
What did I do? I turned OBS on and then it all got funky. What did I do? Am I stupid?
I don't know.
Because I use OBS at the same time it accesses the cameras. OBS accesses the camera and Discord accesses my camera, so I don't know, that's probably what messed it up.
Oh, you need to
Yeah, I will try something. But yeah, we can keep talking.
Okay, hold on. Let me make some changes to my just in case. I don't know if it's gonna, because the screen changed, so I'm about to.
We go into the video or what?
No, we're not in the video just yet. Or we're gonna do the video a little later. Okay,
There we go.
Now they changed back. Now I gotta change the. Now I gotta change the things, the names on my stream again. All right, cool.
What's up, Alex? What's up, Adam and Elson? Wayo! We got the high society here.
Yeah.
Adam's a good artist.
Elids, he's a theorist.
I have watched this on my last stream. I watched a video of his.
Oh,
it was really fucking good. The part 1 of Haki, it was basically 10 out of 10. It was like every sentence. I know exactly what he means. He's totally legit, on point. I'm getting a phone call. It doesn't matter. This guy's epic.
Well, shout out to Eliz, man. Like, I'm gonna be doing the stream with him later today as well. But it's his stream. He got a stream, and I'm gonna be the guest this time. So
nice.
It's gonna be probably my first time being the guest.
You're rising up the ranks. Right. You're doing the work yet.
Right. Oh man,
I see what it is. Blumph, he's gonna get spotlight.
Yeah,
he
man.
sees the spotlight already. He's warming up to it. I like it.
He said virtual cam is one way to use a cam on both. VC makes it so that only one application uses a camera, and then the other application uses the first application as its camera. Yeah, virtual cam kind of always confused me a bit. So I'm gonna have to sit there and actually explore it. Eliz, like kind of off stream.
Luck.
For now, we gonna work with what we got though. Let me, cause I like to have YouTube open on my phone. So let me open up. I never got a chance to. It helps me, especially when I'm watching videos and I can't see the comments through my.
I have noticed this is so freaking annoying. I have to call you out officially on stream. It's so annoying that you like 5 minutes later open up your phone and answer the question. I don't know. You gotta find a way, my guy. You gotta find a way. I don't know why.
Well, how I see it, like when I'm streaming, like while I'm watching the video, I'm not answering questions because I'm like watching the video. So, of course, like if I'm watching like 2-3 minutes of the video, you know, because sometimes people say like, why are you like you pause too much? You know what I'm saying? Like but it's like I try to pause to answer questions and also to kind of give my take on things. So it's like I gotta watch the video, then I gotta give my take, and then I gotta answer chat. So and a lot of times the chat is just going and building up. So it's like
that makes sense. You gotta cut the chat off at a certain point. You gotta make an executive decision. Chat, no more chat, no more chat. The chat just wants white. I understand. I think I understand.
Yeah. So it's like
I blame the chat now too.
I mean, I'm not blaming nobody. I'm just saying that's kind of it's the happy balance just that I found. Right.
They had it coming, quite frankly. Now that you say it, they had it coming. They deserve it.
Oh yeah, Nikita Poot says, like the stream guys for the algorithm. Yeah, shout out to you, man. Definitely like it.
That's right.
Everybody appreciate that. But yeah, okay, let's start talking though, man. You know, before I talk though, I want you to pretty much, you know, shout out your yourself. Guys, his channel will be linked in the description box below, so definitely go subscribe to his channel. Go check out his videos. But yeah, so you know,
they're gonna go crazy. You know? In the mad mind.
All right, so I kind of want to start off with a question. It's a little, you know, I kind of want to do kind of a little Q&A, I guess, before we get into the, you know, just talk about some topics, discuss a couple topics. I know you might have some topics to discuss as well. So, you know, I'll definitely open the floor to you. But the first topic I kind of wanted to talk about, right? You know, now that we got Big Mom out of the way, right? She's pretty much, at least as of now, she's out of the arc. What's next for Big Mom? Like, in your opinion, what do you believe is next for Big Mom? Is she coming back to the arc sometime soon, or will we see her later in the story?
That's such a good question. I wish I could come up with that question. I'm a little bit jealous right now. That's a really good question. Because Big Mom, there will be a huge freaking, how to say, redemption arc coming for her. Like, there's not even the shadow of a doubt in my mind that there won't be a redemption arc. And this might sound controversial. I don't want to put my bullshit into your stuff because
Nah,
there
hey,
is
speak your
something.
mind. This is your platform for you to speak what you.
Yeah, I think we are all under guys right now. The only guys in the chat, and when a sentence starts like this, it's not good. But hear me out. For Big Mom, um, Oda has a tendency for women to go through a redemption arc. He kind of loves to do that shit, and you might be thinking like, what character? It's basically almost every character that is not already like good goes through a
Yeah.
redemption arc. Nico Robin, Nami, Boa Hancock, Alvida. Um, Recent examples, Pudding. I don't know. It's like every single time he
Oh,
does that. And by the way,
Pudding's a good one.
many people have called Oda sexist for doing that. Like many people have said this is problematic. I'm just saying he's making a point. I'm just saying I don't know if this is a spin on Adam and Eve, like with the original sin. I don't know where he's going with this whole idea. But I see what he's doing. So that stuff not happening for Big Mom, who has this whole setup that she is like a good person in truth, and that she's like maybe controlled by this whole situation with the previous user that is Mother Caramel. That's why like Big Mom acts like Mother Caramel because she consumed her, and like her soul is imprinted on her. There's like this whole devil fruit situation, which would explain like her behavior. And then when she's like outside of the control of the devil fruit, she's like normal suddenly. I don't know.
Nah,
There's
that's
a
good.
lot of setup for like a redemption arc for Big Mom. It's already all there, quite frankly. So, and then there's the whole story with Elbaf moving to Elbaf.
Yeah.
I think we are like all on the path. Like we are straight up on the path. No holds bar. No holds bar. It will be a Big Mom redemption arc.
Yeah. So I find that interesting. You say a Big Mom redemption arc, right? So that's pretty much saying like Big Mom will be redeemed, and that's actually something I kind of believe. Like I think that they're like I've stated that, early. This was like early Wano, probably even before Wano. This was early Wano when we learned that Big Mom was coming to Wano, and then they became allies. So this was early Wano. I thought
And people
Oda,
shitted on that. People shitted on
yeah,
that, even though there might have been a point to it. Like
yeah,
instead of like getting that there's a point maybe being made here, people
yeah.
got upset.
I was a little
So
upset. I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't like that Big Mom even
honestly, me
came
too.
to
Honestly, me
Wano.
too. Not gonna lie.
Because I was
Me
like,
too.
bro, like, because then I just I believe that it was gonna make the writing for Oda a lot harder. Because it's like, how do you sensibly beat two Yonko in one arc where people aren't gonna complain? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that was always my kind of thought on Big Mom coming to Wano. But I kind of thought maybe Oda was setting up for Big Mom to betray Kaido, and that would kind
Mm.
of
Yeah.
be the beginning of maybe some redemption story that Oda's trying to convey with Big Mom. That was my initial thoughts on
Can relate.
yeah. So yeah, I thought maybe she would have a change of heart, and maybe her amnesia thing was kind of a little bit like a foreshadow of that. But I don't. At this point, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
Like we don't know where it's going, but
That's a good
what
thing.
does it feel? What does it feel like? What does it feel like? It feels like Big Mom is not as much of a threat any longer. There's not this tension anymore. She gets like she got like officially defeated.
Yeah.
I don't know. And there's all this stuff for like the future, like plot lines that are open that like will have to be resolved in Elbaf almost necessarily. And then there's the beef with Big Mouth and Elbaf. There's just too much. There's too
Way
much.
too much.
Not to state that Big Mom transitions into Elbaf and probably a redemption arc, and that will like tie up everything. And why maybe like this whole stuff with Katakuri was established, like this mutual respect, that has an influence too. It's like we literally have like a fraction within the and Peckhams, like a fraction of the big mom pirates that like align with Luffy or like Luffy. It's like it's all set up. Like that Oda just drops it all and is like, I don't know.
Yeah. I definitely don't believe we're done with Big Mom though. Like, I think maybe this was Oda's way of getting her out, but it's like I don't like knowing Big Mom's personality. I don't think if when she gets up, she's going to be willing to take defeat. You know, it's going to be the case. So it's going to have to be something to where maybe her crew finds her, her family finds her, and takes her away. You know,
I think you made a good take. I think she's gonna like lie to herself and be like delusional, like, which is a character trait of the whole plotline that I was referring to. That being like delusional and then getting like your bubble popped by Luffy, seeing the reality and then aligning with him is kind of like the way it goes. So maybe she'd be like, "You beat me 2 versus 1. That was unfair, you little brats." Like it's gonna be some stupid excuse like this. I can totally see it coming.
Yeah,
that she's not gonna acknowledge it. She's not.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like if she wakes up before. Like let's say if her crew takes her away and then just like she wakes up and she's already outside of Wano, so it's like at this point, you know, I give up versus her being in whatever ditch she's in and then she wakes up and she's like, you know what, I'm still alive, so I'm not going to back out of this fight until I get my revenge. You know, like and then that would bring her back into the plot, right? You know?
Yeah, she's gonna crawl upstairs, see Joy Boy, and then be like, just kidding, bro. Just kidding, man. Just kidding. Don't worry about it.
Shout out to the chat, guys. I'm sorry. I might try to get through some of the chats, but it's going to be hard for me to respond to every single chat because you know that's going to take a lot away from the stream and you know from the discussion with the guests. But hey, shout out to Adam Jin Rakai, I think that's how you say it. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. I don't think I've ever, you know, noticed him in the chat before. Yeah. So shout out to Adam.
That is the guy who made my avatar. He made my avatar on YouTube. So this is really high quality. This guy, like, this is... You guys think this is a small avatar? He like went into like this big 2000 pixels thing and like every single detail is being made there. It's like fucking sick, dude.
Hey, shout out to
piece of art.
Shout out to Adam. I want to read what he said though, because you know he says, I think that in the Sleeping Beauty reversal, Big Mom will wake Luffy up from his nightmare. She uses wind attacks that could be blowing a kiss, and once he's killed Gyro and worn out, she can knock him out to wake him up. So I guess the theory is that Big Mom's going to save Luffy. What you think of that?
I was kind of taken aback by Elliot's comment, who said that he likes the Mother Caramel take.
Okay.
But I don't know if Big Mom uses wind attacks. I couldn't follow that logic. But he, like, the thunder and the fire, I get, but the wind, am I having a low IQ moment? Did I forget something?
Yeah. Let me read that again. It says, I think that in the Sleeping Beauty reversal, so kind of like Sleeping Beauty situation, Big Mom will wake Luffy up with from his nightmare. So,
okay, now I get it. Okay, why not? Though I'm totally on the board, by the way, that Big Mom is gonna fall in love with Luffy. I think we're gonna have a sugar daddy situation. It just gotta happen, man. I'm like totally on board with it.
A sugar mama situation where she's the...
No, she'd be like, "Oh, Luffy is gonna twist her hair, hello," like Boa standing next to him. I totally see it already coming. It's like it's gonna happen. It's like Luffy's modus operandi. That's like just his effect on women.
Bro, yeah, he a lady killer, man.
For sure.
Sanji
Alvida, he got the first stalker in the series. He got the first stalker called Alvida. She's like traveling still the Grand Line, finding her true love. It happens. This is canon.
She even glowed up. She even glowed up for him.
Yeah, exactly. She like got slim for him. Yeah, like, wow.
Man,
and he's not having any of it, which is the most attractive thing you can say.
Sanji need to learn. He need to take some notes, man. Sanji need to take some notes.
But it's funny that you say that. I was talking about it in the last stream that like Sanji's a little bit misunderstood because Oda is like making the message that you shouldn't be like Sanji. being a
Yeah.
simp is not attractive to women. It's like it's the reverse. The message is being made that the way Sanji is, that will literally kill him.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a bad
Yeah. Yeah.
position that you will die having this position. Like you will literally die. That's how
Bro.
bad this position is. It's
You
like
almost
suicide.
like Fishman Island, Wano in his
Yeah,
lobby when
exactly.
Khalifa, like, man. Oh,
It's a bad
son.
mentality to have. Like Luffy and
Sanji,
Zoro, they got it going on. Just have it.
Sanji. Uh, okay. So, we kind of talked about Big Mom, like, I ain't want to harp on that subject too long. So,
I think we got it perfectly covered, quite frankly.
yeah. So, okay. Based off of recent events, recent chapters, right? I would say, like, since the recent chapter, I think a lot of my expectations kind of might have changed. I mean, I don't really even know what to expect at this point, but like, where do you see the direction of Wano going at this point, right? Like, like
Like
especially out of last
all
chapter.
the conflict, yeah. I think like most of the conflict is like resolved right now. We are basically waiting for Kaido. That's like all that's being said here basically, that Kaido and Luffy is like deciding match. So everything else is kind of solved. Even the CP, the Cypher Pole in the front, I'm not that worried about them because of Zunisha being there. And the girls, they basically say that like, this is an ancient enemy. This is legend from the fruit. You gotta run, motherfucker. We are scared. Like, run, motherfucker. Like, they are literally afraid of this monster reappearing.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about like the alliance being like killed by Cypher Pole or some shit. So I basically think the conflict is over, except for Kaido.
Okay.
Kaido's like the only enemy remaining. And I just know one thing: Luffy's gonna like murder Kaido. Like, it's gonna be like over, no matter what happens. If he's gonna be Joy Boy, if he just gets his energy back,
Yeah.
and he's only gonna be Joy Boy for 5 minutes, and then like restores his energy and then beats the shit out of Kaido. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's basically over for Kaido.
Yeah.
Like, it's done deal. And my battery ran empty. No problem. Yeah. What's your feelings? What's your feelings on that?
Oh man, it's like that's tough. Like, cause okay, like, cause I've always been on the theory about the whole spirits and stuff arriving in Wano, and I think I do believe that what's going on now, we might be already seeing the possession of a spirit, right? Like, we might be seeing Joy Boy possess Luffy's body. So
Yeah, in a way it did.
yeah, who's to say we might not see somebody like Ryuma or Odin possess like Zoro or something,
Damn, that's
And-
a good take. What the fuck?
And
That's
that's
a really good take. What the?
yeah, like Odin, because he has Enma, right? And Enma probably has a piece of Odin, like he was
Ooh.
Odin's old sword, right? So he probably like Odin's Odin's will might be an Enma, like since he
Yeah.
owned Enma for so long, Enma probably fought with him. So and when we look at hockey, right? Hockey is will, all like will.
Yeah,
Your
I
will
think I
is
can
your
follow.
hockey. So maybe Enma, maybe Odin, and I know this is kind of a stretch. Like I don't know if this is really going to happen, but if we're seeing Joy Boy possess, if it is indeed a possession of Joy Boy possessing Luffy, who's to say we couldn't get Odin to possess, or maybe even Ryuma? Like I'm liking Odin more because with Odin we could get some closure and like maybe we'll get Odin closure with Hiyori, closure with Momonosuke, because Hiyori and Zoro are already pretty close. So if Odin was
Such a good
talking
take.
if Odin was talking through Zoro to Hiyori, that could be a pretty dope moment, Ryuma
Because
might
it
not
will
have as
work.
much impact.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't want to bring this up. I'm gonna spoiler my next video, but I'm just gonna say it. There are like 3 ways how. Okay, the assumption with Joy Boy now returning. Either Luffy is still Joy Boy and this is not Joy Boy. Either this is Joy Boy, or the consciousness of a Joy Boy somehow, or this is like a mix of the both. Like these are
Yeah.
basically the three possibilities of what's going on with Luffy right now.
Yeah.
So him being Joy Boy or being a mix of Joy Boy, that's like 66% of the possibilities. So
Yeah.
um and in that explanation, I have again three possibilities for how this miracle happened. The first one is Luffy's has the same devil fruit as Joy Boy or the same devil fruit as Nika. And Nika had the same ability as Joy Boy, so they have the same ability and whatever the hell. Because this is like a truth about devil fruits as well. That's like the previous users imprinted on them, which by the way is maybe the same explanation as with Big Mom and Mother Caramel. So if Luffy has consumed the rubber devil fruit and the rubber devil fruit has been consumed by Nika, then Joy Boy's soul might have been in him the whole time. So that's like one explanation. Second possibility, the Straw Hat. We don't know the previous user. Third possibility, whatever the hell is stored in Zunisha.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something stored in Zunisha. We don't know what it is.
In that
But
well,
maybe it's
like,
the soul of Joy Boy. Who knows? I don't know what. I don't know. I can't tell.
you kind of, it's where you kind of glossed over, like one of your points you kind of like, it was the point that you kind of glossed over that kind of stuck out to me the most, and it was about the Straw Hat, because I've always thought there was definitely like, I thought it's weird that like the
You see
Straw
through me.
Hat in
I
the
was
back of
thinking
me.
that, like, don't talk too much about it, and you see through me. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so that's, yeah. I've always said like we needed like maybe a history on the Straw Hat. You know, like there has to be a will in that Straw Hat. Now I don't. If you, it sounds like you got a video, so I'm not going to dive too much on it. You know, but you know, I've been saying that, like I've been thinking that's something I've been thinking of for like a couple years now. Like that we might need a flashback on the Straw Hat, right? As weird as that sounds, like we get a flashback on an inanimate object, but
Yeah, I don't know. I think it probably will just be like we get like an ancient kingdom, how to say flashback, and then we see just Joy Boy starting with the Straw Hat. I think that's really like most there is to it.
Yeah,
Like, and then you can like infuse objects with will by being with them. So Straw Hat, obviously, and that's why the soul of like Joba was there in there the whole time. And that's kind of the same way as what you proposed with like the sword Enma. So that's why I was thinking like this is actually the same idea, dude. Just a different application. You know what I mean? It's the same take basically.
So you're saying the will of Joy Boy could possibly be in the Straw Hat, kind of like the will of Odin being in the will of the sword, possibly. And I will also even go as far to say is that whatever is going on might be affected from the Fire Festival. You know, because the Fire Festival is basically, it's pretty much them communicating with the dead. You know, and this is something Elids has talked about. Me and Elids talked about before. So it's like the soul or the Fire Festival, pretty much people communicating with the dead through the little lanterns. And I think that's pretty much what happened last chapter, right? Like not the recent chapter, but the chapter before. They had that part. They had that scene where they sent the balloons to the sky. So it's like, and then we get something that some people consider a possession, like Joy Boy possessing Luffy's body. Right after the same chapter, we focused on the Fire Festival, which
I've never thought about that way. That basically the people of Wano wishing for Joba to return, and then he returns. Like, because what the fuck are they writing on the thing? Please give me Wano back or some shit. And then like Joba returns in the same night.
Yeah,
are you kidding me? It's almost like they created it and wished it into existence, like will manifest it to create Joba in a certain way. So that's totally legit, I think.
And you just said something that I didn't. That just made me remember. Like, what was the purpose of Joy Boy? Right? He was a liberator.
Liberating the people. Yeah.
Wano needs liberating, right? And Luffy failed kind of because Kaido pretty much won that fight, killed him. So Joy Boy kind of had
the wish of the people of Wano. They wanted to happen.
Yeah.
So
Joy Boy had to
maybe
step
that's
in.
like, I like this because Mr. Mod just released a video about Destiny, and in a certain way, this idea destroys like all his problems that he has, because it's like the people want fate to happen in a certain way, and that's what manifesting itself. It's like it's not destiny. It's like the energy of the One Piece world actually making it happen.
Man, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Shout out to Angel's Room. He said, "Yo, man, I did not get a notification for this stream." Hey, man, sorry, but you here now, man. You know, we still got more stream left. Today. I'm not gonna be talking. I'm not gonna be reading the chat that often, so you know, I might miss a lot of y'all chats, and I'm sorry, but you know, I might keep saying this just to remind y'all because I know some of y'all might not get it, or y'all might not have gotten me saying that. So I want y'all to know that, you know.
You tell me the truth though. Why is your name Blumpgott?
Oh,
it's like,
well,
it's not going. It's not computing, man. It's not computing.
Well, the word bluff, right? Like the word bluff kind of came from me and a friend, right? Like it was just kind of an inside joke, right? And because we used to play Rocket League. Like I don't know if you're familiar with the game Rocket League. We played. He kind of put me onto that game, Rocket League, and every time we scored, or like when we was doing good, we won the game. We had this saying called like "for the bluff," right? Like
for the bluff.
And it came from
as like a homage to him that you are the bluff. You know, for God, you are the bluff of God.
Yeah, it was more like
better than you, and everybody will know it. We both will know it. Only we both will know it. That I'm the bluff God.
Bro,
I like it.
That is kind of like, in a sense, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, and where the actual name came from, like the word that we started with the word bluff is, we lived on this street. It was a street that we lived on called Plunkett, right? Plunkett. I know it's not the same word. I get it, but me and him would start joking, and we were like, "Yeah, we live on Blumpkin Street." Like Blumpkin, but
so back to the roots, where you all came from. It's like the Bluff God.
So it's like and y'all getting it here first, y'all. I know a lot of people probably been thinking y'all getting it here first.
Now that I think about it, your name is the same as Nika. Basically, it's like victorious. It's like victorious over your friends. You are winning. You're winning. I like that. I like it. The charm.
Oh man. Exactly. See, you see where I'm going. But we also got Marshall D. Preach in the building. Shout out to Marshall D. Preach. He said 2 legends. Hey man, dang, I'm still working to be a legend, man. You a legend. I'm still working on it though. Preach. You're a legend, but I'm getting there. I'm climbing, you know. But you know, you and Best Gen though, y'all could kind of classify yourselves as that. Then we got
Preach has good takes. Preach has good takes, by the way.
Oh no, I rock with Preach.
But go ahead. And by the way, he was like one of my first subs. I think he might like 100 subs or something, or even before that. I saw him his name always. He was, I think, one of the biggest subscribers.
Oh yeah.
And he stuck around, and I evolved. Like I wouldn't have subbed to me under 100 subs. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, guys? Like that's kind of crazy, man. I suck, dude. The content's whoa. But apparently some people believed.
Yeah.
One of them.
Hey, shout out to Marshall D. Preach. He got the I did a reaction to his Marshall D. teeth. I think that was the first reaction video I did of him. But yeah, shout out to Preach, man. And then we got 24 Smiley. He said, "Hey, shout out to 24 Smiley." Elsa Jackson said, "Fire Festival is virtually the Japanese equivalent of the Day of the Dead." Yeah, man. Exactly.
Always with the good takes, this guy.
Yeah. Oh, so all right. I got another. Let's kind of move on from the Wano direction. You know, I think at this point it's kind of hard to tell. You know, but.
Should I ask this? No, I have one more.
Go ahead. Yeah, you ask. Go ahead.
But you kind of answered it already, because I have one more Wano question that is Zoro dead or not for you? He's like dead in the same way that Luffy is. But now that I think about it, is Luffy for you even dead?
Yeah.
So I guess ask both questions.
I think Luffy was dead. Right? Like I
agree with that.
Cause I just believe he was dead, right? Because Kaido said he was dead, and I think Kaido is, you know, like somebody explained, like, I'm not the first person to explain, because I believed he was dead, but they kind of explained it, and I was like, yeah, I agree with that take. But they said the first time when Kaido defeated Luffy on top of Onigashima, he never, I don't think he said Luffy was dead. He just said,
No.
I beat Luffy, right? But then
He
this
even
time,
acknowledged that he didn't kill him because he said a sentence like, the others will think you still keep going because he didn't kill him. So he even implied he was alive because he said, people will still believe you have a shot because I didn't kill you. Like, so even there's an implication that he didn't die.
yeah. But Kaido said he was dead, and Luffy seemed like he was dead, right? Like a little more than unconscious. And
Yeah, he looked dead, dude.
yeah. And I believe that kind of opened the door for Joy Boy to come in, right? And that's partially why I think it's a possession, because I think Luffy died and he had his body was lifeless for now I don't think it was dead long enough for him to stay dead, because I do think, like, in most anime there is a time period where you could actually come back to life or be resurrected. But
in reality, it's true, right? You can be like 5 to 10 minutes clinically dead. So that's even a thing.
I think so.
It's even like a thing, totally.
Yeah,
if not longer even.
So I think Joy Boy, like Luffy, I believe Luffy was dead, and that left room for Joy Boy to possess him. Now, how Joy Boy did it? Was he in the Devil Fruit? Was he actually, since Luffy's kind of looked at as kind of a reincarnation of him of some sort? Now, I know some people might not like the word reincarnation, but they look at Luffy as like, he is Joy Boy. So maybe that's part of the reason Joy Boy was actually able to almost manifest in Luffy's body. But yeah, so in Zoro's case, I mean, we seen him face to face with the Grim Reaper, Death, right? Now that could probably be the soul, the spirit of Enma manifested, right? So
I don't agree with that. I actually have made a video on this, but I don't know. It's your opinion.
Well,
if that's Enma or not.
That's why I said that could be looked at, because I've heard a theory at that, and that's why I say it could be looked at as the spirit of Enma. But if it actually is the Grim Reaper coming to take Zoro's soul, I think he's very borderline dead at the very least. If he's not like dead, like he's borderline dead, you know. And I actually think there's some other characters that are also borderline dead as well. That if this is indeed a way for spirits to come to Wano, you know, Joy Boy just might be the first, right? Zoro could be maybe a vessel for Odin, you know, Ashura Doji, you know, like he could probably be like a vessel for one of the daimyo or something, like the Shimotsuki leader.
You said Odin right now, and I thought that's where you wanted to go. That like Odin's spirit is in Enma.
Yeah.
And that's what. And by the way, isn't we even know what the spirit of Enma is, right? Because the guy Kozawabaro, whatever the frick his name is, he created Enma, so his soul, his spirit is in there.
That's
why
true.
would it be a Grim Reaper? That's why I couldn't follow this one. I know this was in theory. I think somebody even said that I think Parvish was it. I don't know. Was it Parvish?
I don't know.
But anyways, I like the idea, like in theory, but it just doesn't make sense why Grim Reaper and if I would see the soul of the old dude, I would get it. Like I'd be like, okay, 100%, this is the spirit of him. And by the way, which would make sense, like King Enma, like being like a bureaucrat, like in Dragon Ball. That's literally could be like this old man, so it's totally like plausible. But it's the Grim Reaper, so I think like this might be the real deal, dude.
Well,
on the brink of death.
I heard a theory out there, so I thought it was like a very common theory, you know. So I mean, I don't know, you know, because I hear a lot of people talk about the King of Hell, right, and then Grim Reaper is heavily associated with death, right, or the other world. So that's the only reason why I kind of said that, you know. But yeah, I mean,
it makes sense. I mean, like, it's totally plausible. Could be totally wrong. 100%, it's totally plausible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few questions too. So Zoro, in your book, that's not So this is more of
I would say
of an appearance.
I would say he's borderline dead, but
Okay.
he could. I don't know. I'm gonna say borderline.
But because
Okay,
I
I'll
think
say
you
he's
kind of
dead. I'll say
recognize
just to have either one or the other. I'll say he's dead.
because I
To
think
give you
for the
one.
own idea he has to be dead, right? So his body gets like overtaken. Well, he definitely doesn't have to be dead. That's why I'm asking. Like, is it like a prerequisite? Because it happened with Luffy, so maybe it happened with Zoro too.
I would say just being on the brink of death is
Hmm?
okay. I'll say dead. I'll say maybe you do have to die in order for it to happen.
Yeah, because now that I thought about it, even Zoro said he was on the brink of death against Mr. One. This is not brink of death. This is like 100 times worse. This is like way worse. So, yeah. Okay, that's it. I had to know. So,
but yeah, you got some. You got another question?
oh yeah, the rubber devil fruit. Okay, straight up tell me. I think the consensus is shifting 110%. The community, first of all, was like the rubber devil fruit. They were on this fever dream, quite frankly. It's kind of funny how it came up. Because it started off with like Zunisha appearing, and then like the Ghosts, they talk about this legendary fruit awakening, and then you see like the word fruit being dubbed over Zunisha. And then we find out like a few chapters later that Joyba was a friend of Zunisha. And then people were thinking that Momonosuke, wait a second, he's friends with Zunisha, and Joyba was friends with Zunisha. Maybe Joy Boy is Momonosuke, which was retarded. But because it was already stated that two Saurons will be born in the future, and Momonosuke was already alive, so it was like the community, they went a little bit wild with it. They went wild with the idea, and then they ended up believing that the rubber devil fruit is completely a different fruit, a zone, and Yuderon went in the direction with the resin devil fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So where you're at, and by the way, I think now the community is shifting back towards this whole craziness. They're like, wait a second, what did we do? So actually, nothing has been confirmed or anything with the rubber devil fruit. Like even to like begin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
So you're asking. So you're asking like, do I think it's the rubber devil fruit or resin?
Yeah. Is it a zone? What is it? What's
is
it
a zone? Okay.
Yeah. Any take you want, because a lot of stuff has changed. I think like the community went like 180 degrees. Like first they went wild, and then they're like, oh wait a second, maybe it's just like rubber devil, maybe resin. Okay, but that's it.
See, I personally think that I'm kind of going with the rubber devil fruit. I still think it's the rubber devil fruit.
I fucking man, that's why you're the Blumph God.
I think
you can tell your friends, tell them I said that's why I'm the Blumph God. Exactly.
So, and the reason why I think it is because I think like if you melted rubber, you would get like some type of I don't know because I've never personally melted rubber, but you'll get some type of gooey type material, right? So I think it's an awakening. I think what's going on is just simply whatever. A rubber awakening personally, and I think this is more something to do with Joy Boy than the devil fruit. Now, okay, maybe it does have something to do with like maybe the devil fruit awakening activates Joy Boy. Like if you subscribe to that belief, but it's hard for me to kind of stay. Cause I'm the type I like to wait for more information, right? Cause we kind of got like a last panel, so you know it could always be. I know I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go with the rubber. I'm gonna just say that I believe it's a rubber devil fruit that once you awaken it, it gains you that ability, right? And because a lot of arguments I've seen with people would say, to say like it's. The Gummo Gummo no Mi is special. Like some of the arguments, I kind of say I don't really get how that's a viable argument. Kind of like the one where they talk about Gear 4, the technique Jet Calverin, how it kind of follows you, and people was like, oh, see, that's a clue that Luffy's Devil Fruit is indeed different. I'm like, I don't really see it like that. I just think that it's doing what you kind of expected. It's just like I don't know, like to me it just wasn't like that much of a big deal for it to be But a lot of people see something into it, you know, and it could mean something, yes, but I just didn't see it, right? So this whole resin thing, is it resin or is it just rubber, melted rubber, right? Like,
I said the same take on my last stream. That's why I'm so surprised. That's why I said you are the Blumph god. Like, holy shit! It's like, if you like, why would he even go to the resin idea if like you can just with the rubber devil fruit probably create resin by awakening shit?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's like it's not necessary. It's not necessary in the slightest. Like, it's just for this one thing. It just makes not much sense. It probably can do it already. The rubber devil fruit.
Yeah. Let me read a few chats real quick. Elson Jackson said they said his damage injury sustained would be doubled once the effects of the drug wore off. He's talking about Zoro. Said that combo attack he tanked destroyed his entire body. It was only his will really keeping him alive. Awakening gear reverse, reverting rubber back to its base form. This is Elson Jackson saying this. Just a thought. So he's pretty much saying like Zoro's. I'm assuming he means like Zoro's probably dead because of all the damage done to sustained to his body. It's pretty much his will keeping him somewhat alive. And he also said awakening gear reverse, or like talking about the Gomu Gomu no Mi. But once you awaken it kind of reverses to what rubber is before it's like in its base form, which is a liquid, I guess, like a goo type thing. So pretty much kind of what we're saying, you know.
Yep.
And then Elin says, I still think it's the rubber devil. The rubber devil. I'm about to post a theory to Reddit as to why it is Luffy's devil fruit may act special but still be rubber. Yeah, I agree with that. I will also be talking about it on stream. What platform? And he said on his YouTube channel. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think the reason why we're seeing this awakening is because it's Joy Boy, right? Joy Boy probably is an expert in devil fruits, right? So I think somebody like Joy Boy probably could master a devil fruit relatively quick, like, you know, or maybe he had the Gumu Gumu no Mi and he just knew how to awaken it already. You know, it could be that case as well. But I just think Joy Boy awakened it pretty much. Or maybe when the devil fruit awakened, the soul of the devil fruit awakened, which, you know, Joy Boy could have lived in that devil fruit.
Right! What the fuck? Because the truth about awakening is probably that like the devil that like lives within you awakens. Like, what the fuck? That's like literally probably why it's called awakening in the first place. So Joy Boy being in the devil fruit and awakening, that's literally what it's called. It's like it's pretty on the nose actually. It's like self-explanatory, you know, somewhere.
There's a theory out there that says devil fruits are really like, I guess, people in the ancient kingdom. Like after they was dead, they were their souls were pretty much put into these fruits. You know, maybe those people had special abilities. You know, like like me and Eliz has talked about a lot with understanding hockey that after mastering hockey to a higher level, you can almost create devil fruit abilities, right? Kind of like, you know, Sanji when he's able to light his leg on fire, you know, like that's almost like an ability Ace should be exclusive to Ace, you know.
Or with Reiju and Magellan having poison abilities.
Yeah, he said understanding hockey part 4. That's his theory. So, but yeah. The
other part 4, I didn't. Why? By the way, I didn't watch the part 2 because I didn't want to get spoiled. Because I'm about to do like in 2 videos, Devil Fruit theory, and I'm not kidding. I think this guy will like spoil my entire theory. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I didn't want to watch it. I'm like, I can't do my own video then if he's gonna spoil or have the same idea. Like I can't do it, man. Can't do it. Not gonna happen. Like it seems like he's like totally figured it out, man.
We're I think he wants to do like something where I guess he's gonna react to all those understanding hockey videos, and I might join if he wants me to, you know, if he wants me to join, get my you know, we can kind of do like a code. So I might do that with him. But
Yeah, let's do a mega session. I need to see them too, dude. I'm only watched part 1, part 2, and upwards. I don't know. Gonna do a group session.
hey, okay. If up to him though, you know what I'm saying. But all right. So I got another question for you. You know, this is kind of a mystery that I don't know. I don't really know your opinion on this subject. You know, so I kind of want your take. The mystery of Lunarians, right? Like the origin and everything. You know, like what are your thoughts? It could be anything. Like I don't know, just and not really asking anything specific. But what's some theories you got on the Lunarians?
Oof. I think we have to talk about another truth to understand the Lunarian takes.
Okay.
And this is like my hard take, and only like a very few people even know about this take or have accepted it. And I'm not kidding. I think Uteron doesn't accept this take. Arthur doesn't accept this take. I think I haven't heard this take at all. And that is that the truth about the One Piece world, the Void Century, is not the end all be all. People think like the beginning of the story is basically the Void Century. No. I don't think so. I think we get a lot of foreshadow that the time before the Void Century will more and more be important. And this is where I think actually that the Nika idea comes from. It doesn't start off with Joy Boy. Yeah. It started off from even before that, like even a tale oldest time. Yeah. You can say, yeah. That's why Nika is the smile. That's why everybody who is Joy Boy, Luffy, Roger, they have the smile, they have the Nika. Their sound effect is always for smile is Nika. I don't know, it's like was recently even shown with Joy Boy. So, and the point is with the Lunarians. The Lunarians, I don't know, they could tie to like the creation of the Red Line, which happened like 5,000 years ago with like the creation of the Sea Circle shit. Like we know there was like this Age of Heaven and then the Age of the Sea Circle. So transitioning from Heaven, the Age of Gods, to the Sea Circle, and the Sea Circle is probably referring to the Red Line, like what goes one time around the sea. It's probably that fucking thing. Yeah. And I don't know where to place the Lunarians quite frankly, but it's probably thousands of years. Actually, I don't.
Yeah. So you think they were pretty much prominent before the Void Century, is what you're saying?
Yeah, long before. Yeah. Like this is like how we see the Lunarians is like even like modern Lunarians, like even like that they are like have an affinity for fire. I don't know if that is a given because their name is like Lunarian. So in my head, they're maybe associated
moon,
with the sea more. The moon, it's not the sun. So why did they change like their ways to the sun? Maybe they're like a representation of people that started like with the moon era. I don't know. We didn't talk about this one yet. I just realized. Like,
Eli's got Eli's got this red sea theory, right? Where the Red Sea is pretty much hell, right? That's where people like Magellan come from. Hannibal. A lot of people with like a demonic. That like those demonic species that we don't even really we don't even really got a class of species for them, right? Like we got fishmen, we got mixed.
For Kaido we know Oni. Yeah, Oni might be the demon race. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. You know, and then you got Gecko Moria, right? So, but and I like we talked about this heavy, right? So, because I got kind of a theory about the Lunarians. Like they were always
please.
Now, my theory on them it's kind of related to the Bible, right? Like the Christian Bible. So
these are the best takes.
We look at the Lunarians, right? They were used to I guess they were considered gods, right? It was just to make sure I'm on the right track. They were considered gods, right? So, definitely. But why does King look more demonic though, right? So I always looked at it as maybe a fall from grace type thing. Like when we look at Lucifer, right? We look at Lucifer. He was an angel, right? But then he went against God. He rebelled against God, and then eventually he got tossed out of heaven, and he pretty much became the devil, the demons. All the other fallen angels were also known as demons, I guess. So I could be wrong about them being demons. I think they're demons, but Maybe they're still
Yeah,
angels.
they turn out. I think all angels who switch sides become demons. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
by definition.
So, and that kind of goes in line with his theory about the Red Sea, because where would you be
Mm-hmm.
sent to, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at Lucifer, his
Mm.
fate is pretty much to hell, right? So Lunarians,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they were kicked out of grace and they came
Mm-hmm.
to Earth, and if they were raised somewhere like hot, somewhere with
Mm-hmm.
magma and stuff, which kind of
Mm-hmm.
plays into Elidz's idea. They
Mm-hmm.
that's how they get hardened, right? That's why he's so hardened and can
Mm-hmm.
survive in any environment. He's even in chat. He said that's what I think with my Red Sea theory. There's a history before the Void Century. Something happened even before the Void Century that made them go underground and join the demons who had been uh, living underground thousands of or longer than the
This
Lunarians.
guy has future sight too. I see it, man. I see it. This guy has the goggles, man. He has the right perspective. He gets it.
But here's my
Not
question.
many get it. Yo.
Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said something that I've also agreed with you before. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Lunarians, their name possibly having to do with maybe the sea or the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Enel went to the moon, but we never really see any
Mm-hmm.
Lunarian history there. We just see the
Mm-hmm.
Birkins, the Skypians, and the Shadorians,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we never see no Lunarians, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe they were on the moon before the other sky races, or maybe they were there and they kind of got written out of history because they betrayed the other
Mm-hmm.
sky histories or sky people. So,
Yeah. I see where you're going.
or maybe they didn't live on the sky. Maybe because a lot of people think
Mm-hmm.
Mary Jo, but
Okay, with the moon situation and anal, I made a video about this, so I thought it through, and I think the message is very nuanced, but it's clear. I don't know if I should finish with the Lunarians though first, because with the Lunarians, I think this is easier to understand. One Piece lives in, how do you say, in cycles. And how Oda defines the two cycles is basically a sun era and a moon era, and they're like switch places over and over again in history. And that is, by the way, the truth of the Will of D. The Will of D is just like two sides of the same coin shit, with it being the sun and the moon. That's why you can shape the D as a sun and a moon. It's like how to say, a double meaning.
yeah.
The double meaning.
I've
So,
I've read a theory about that, like the D
mhm,
not really being the
mhm,
D, is more of
mhm,
a moon symbol that's
mhm,
translated into a D, and
mhm.
the theory basically talks about like all the people with a D are pretty much descendants of moon people or something, or But go ahead, I'm gonna let you
No,
finish.
yeah, but
I'm gonna let you finish.
I made a theory about this, a 35-minute, I would call it dissertation, like one of those videos where I go in full detail. And if you look like at all the D people, you can classify them all under sun or moon people. People who follow the will of the sun, like Joy Boy, or the will of the moon, like Blackbeard and Emo. And by the way, Blackbeard, Emo, and Zebek are the only moon people in the series,
Ooh,
which makes sense because they are like the, how do you say, the inheritors of the moon's will. Like
okay,
Blackbeard, Zebek, and Emo have all the same stated goal: king of the world, controlling everything.
yeah,
My freedom goes over everybody else's freedom. They have all the same ideology. Um,
that's interesting.
so if
I
you
didn't
go,
think of that.
so if you go back in time, like where we are right now, or what will happen in the future, there will be a sun era in the future when Luffy will be the dominant one. So the era before that was the moon era, the world government. Start of world government, end of world government, where we are right now, basically almost. So, and then we have an era before with the sun. And who was prominent during that era?
Joy
The
Boy.
Ancient Kingdom.
Yeah.
The Ancient Kingdom, and led by Joy Boy. And Joy Boy was, how do you say, representative of the Sun Kingdom or the Ancient Kingdom, because we know about it. Because Clover said the Ancient Kingdom created the poneglyphs, and then later on we find out Joy Boy created the poneglyphs. So that mystery is connected. He's a representative of the Ancient Kingdom somehow. We don't know the full details, but he is.
Yeah.
So if we then go back to the Moon era, then we have like a possible explanation where the Lunarians come from. Like, and this is what Oda is hinting at, always like a time before that. So even before the Void Century, so there was like the Sun era. But even in that Sun era, and by the way, this would explain it now that I think about it. Because during the Sun era, the Lunarians worshipped fire already. Maybe the Lunarians became like traitors to the moon, followed the sun, become sun worshippers, and that's why the Celestial Dragons then take control of our power and then threw the Lunarians
Just
out.
kill them,
Because
yeah.
these dirty sun worshippers, get the fuck out. This is the land of God, of moon. The moon has taken over, babe. So there could be a perfect explanation, I think, with like this idea how times change and when the Lunarians can fit in.
Nah, that's a good point. I never even thought of the whole like the cycles, like
Mhm.
we're us being in the moon era right now, and Luffy's pretty much because when you look at it, you look when you look at Toki's speech, right? She talks about the or was it her speech? Yeah, about the dawn. Was it the dawn
Unaware of
after
the
the moon
moon.
or yeah?
Mhm.
And how Luffy's pretty much that is like, hey, we're going into a moon cycle, you know, and maybe
Mhm.
the end of
Exactly.
Wano is pretty much the beginning of the moon or the sun cycle, you know.
Yeah, and the goal of Toki and Odin was that a new dawn comes, Dröber returns, all of that stuff, and they're
Yeah.
kind of talking about it. And by the way, they believe that Wano will be saved by Joyboy, right? That's what even Odin said before he died. He was like,
Oh.
soon dudes will appear in 20 years. So he was talking about Joyboy, right?
Oh. That
So I never even thought about the way she was referring to Joyboy
yeah. Yeah.
when she made that statement.
I guess it was referring to Luffy as Joy Boy. So yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Cube says I found something interesting about hell in Norse mythology, and it's what Kaido thinks of what is an honorable death. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
Vikings usually die. They go to Valhalla if they die fighting, and that's kind of
Mhm.
how Kaido want to go. But he also says
Mhm.
every single person who dies from an illness, age, or is considered a coward or dishonorable by the gods and goddesses
Mhm.
will end up in her realm called Helheim. This is in relation to the Viking age. Meant if you didn't die in battle, you would simply go to hell. This could fit the Red Sea is close to Elbath. Oh, that's a good point. You know, like I'm familiar with the whole Norse mythology and when it comes to death, but I mean maybe yeah that's a good case. Maybe the Red Sea is near Elbath, but you know, good call, Cube. But yeah,
Mhm.
so yeah, okay. You got a question? You know,
Yeah, I have
I
a lot
know.
of questions still about, or are we gonna watch or play the video? I was thinking about either play the video or like explain to me your Mihawk take. I think I want to hear your Mihawk take first. I
Well,
haven't forgotten.
I've already talked about it. I don't really have anything new, but I'll talk about it again.
Mhm.
So I just believe that Mihawk probably has a ascended version of observation hockey,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I forgot the last theory video I did. Uh, Let me see. I want to recall who it was. I can't remember, but the thing kind of plays into Mihawk because like when you take One Piece, when you look at One Piece, almost every if not every character, almost every character is based off of some type of animal, right? Like
Mhm. Mhm.
you got Doflamingo, you know,
Yeah, you know, man.
flamingos,
You know.
right?
You know.
Ball Hancock snakes, white Blackbeard, hippopotamus,
Mhm.
which if and here's something interesting. I've said this before, but here's something interesting about hippopotamuses. They have
Mhm.
three stomachs, three chamber
Mhm.
stomachs. What could
Mhm.
somebody do with three stomachs?
Well, that's
Eat
three
three
devil
different
fruits.
devil fruits. Now I'm not saying
Mhm.
he has a hippo devil fruit, but it just makes sense for
Mhm.
his character because
Mhm.
you know Oda's it's confirmed that he's based off of a hippo. Like you could probably find
Mhm.
it in the SBS, and
Mhm.
he already has two devil fruits that we're
Mhm.
aware of. He might already
Mhm.
have a third one, or he might be getting a third one. Like it's
Mhm.
possible, you know. But just kind of throwing that out there. With Mihawk,
Mhm.
he's based off of an eagle, right, or a hawk,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And these types of birds have the best, as far as vision. They're like they have some of the best vision in the
Mhm.
animal kingdom, right? Now there's other animals that got
Mhm.
some very unique impressive vision as well. But eagle could pretty much see from like a long distance. Like they could see
Yeah, he
animals.
zoomed in that one scene with Luffy, right? He like zoomed the fuck in.
Yeah.
He's like seeing it from him, like through everybody. He's like just seeing it.
Now,
right? There was a scene.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. He did notice, and then I think that's when he said, "I'm sorry, Shanks, but I gotta kind of test out your pupil or whatever." Now I'm saying, okay, now when we look at vision, what's very prominent in this series, that has to do with vision, or another term for vision is observation, right? You're how you seeing observation.
I like the way you're thinking,
right? Observation. So maybe, and I was watching a theory a couple of days ago where people were, I think it was Monkey D. Preach, or not, Marshall D. Preach, I think it was, and I think it was his
Sunlight
video.
Alliance,
Sunlight Alliance. I'm sorry, it was Sunlight Alliance. You're right. He even said people with those eyes have an awakening observation, or they have like a higher level observation. So, and I don't know if that's a bloodline thing. Maybe Mihawk comes from some type of special bloodline. Maybe he awakened it through some type of spiritual means. Because when we look at Mihawk, his whole theme is spiritual, right? He got the crosses,
How the fuck do you know that? I thought like only my community knows that. What the heck? Like when I say stuff like this, people think I'm insane when I say Mihawk is like a spiritual character. Like what the fuck are you talking about? He's a goth boy. What are you talking about?
I mean, he got a little knife that's a cross, right? What's his name? Yoru, it's a cross. It's a big cross on his back. You know? He's kind of like Dracula, which is not really. I mean, he got a lot of cross symbolism in religion and stuff. So. But
just a little thing. Wait a second. I'm gonna let it finish. Then I'm gonna pop off too. Because, wait, I have to.
All right, so I would say Mihawk is very spiritually aware, and spirituality is definitely. I think like spiritual people have they're in touch with Haki in a different way. Like I think Zoro is spiritual as well, right? Because he meditates a lot. So
100%.
So Zoro is definitely capable of possibly achieving this awakening if that's what it is. But it could also be a bloodline thing, and if it's a bloodline thing, that could mean Mihawk and Ing maybe not related, but they come from the same race of people. So I'm thinking either a bloodline thing, a spiritual thing, but I believe that he has a special type of awakening, observation wise. And I'm gonna say this last thing, and then I'm gonna let you go. And I think in Marineford, he showed remember the one scene where he confronts Luffy, and Luffy is about to he's pretty much about to I forgot the attack he was about to do to Mihawk, but he had like an image in his head to see like if he did that attack, his arms was going to get cut off. So technically, you could say at that point in time, Luffy accessed future sight observation Haki, and this was before Luffy was even aware of observation Haki. How did he do that?
My guy, I'm about to blow your fucking mind.
I would say
take on the fly after hearing it.
I don't think Luffy did access it. I think Mihawk probably gave him that vision so he can pretty much save Luffy from the fate that would have done. But go ahead.
Dude, this is like destiny or some shit, because I'm like, I didn't know why I thought that Mihawk has the voice of all creation. But you made me realize, you just gave me the answer that I needed. Like, I didn't figure this out myself, you just figured it out for me. So it's unbelievable. Because I'm going to ask you a question. Okay. I think from that point onward, the rest is like following naturally. Wouldn't you say that the ice abilities, even though it's like commonly believed, it's associated with observation haki? Observation haki is actually not an eye ability. Observation haki is actually like a sixth sense, like it's beyond eyes. It's like a feeling. It's like a different kind of feeling, like a different kind of vibration feeling. It's like touch. It's a vibration feeling, seeing the light.
Yeah.
So in that sense, observation haki is actually not related to eyes.
No, I get that. I get that.
What is actually related to eyes is conqueror's haki. because when you remember the whole Kosovo stuff,
Yeah.
with the like curses, what they are, people are ignorant, just souls are within the sword, and you see like the circular pattern, the same in Mihawk's eyes and Emo's eyes, and Cavendish and Karibo, who has a scythe, and Zunisha, who is controlled by Momonosuke. You see the circular pattern.
Yeah.
So that pattern maybe means to bend somebody to your will, which is just another way of saying conqueror's haki, isn't it? It's like the exact same, just another phrasing, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could be on to something. You could definitely be on to something. You know.
Yeah. So from that point onward, eye abilities are more associated with conqueror's haki, I would say.
Yeah.
And going from conqueror's haki to voice of all creation,
Yeah.
that's closer than observation haki, one can say. And by the way, one can argue, and I think you have watched the video with Luffy's and Emo's shocking ability. The two prerequisite of Voice of All Creation seems to be Observation Haki and Conqueror's Haki. So
yeah. So I mean, so maybe
the ability he has said that the most dangerous ability is to make people follow you, so to conquer them in a certain way.
yeah. That's a
And
good
he has
point.
the eye ability. And if he can connect his mind with another human being, like Emo, like Luffy, can he like project an image into their head?
Yeah.
Isn't this like even the same ability that I was talking about? So that's what I mean. It's kind of a little bit spooky right now. It's a little bit Destiny. Like, I didn't know why Mihawk had this ability. It made no sense to me, but you kind of showed me that there is actually a scene that could be, in fact, what's happening there.
Yeah.
With the projecting.
Oh yeah, how he was able to project. Yeah. I did say that. I have said, yeah, you're right. You got a good man.
Yeah.
Let me read some of these comments, and you still want to watch the video, or you want to talk some more about maybe some topics?
I need to see your reaction. I'm not kidding. I need you to watch this video because I think you will cry. I'm not kidding. It's insane. It's insane where I'm going with that one.
All right, I'm gonna read these chats. I'm gonna try to read chats from Cube, and then we could get into the video.
Let's go.
All right, so Adam says the real Eden is Odin. Odin. Like no, I don't.
Eden.
Like you mean the Garden of Eden? Like Odin is the Garden of Eden? I'm trying. I gotta follow where you going. You gotta give me a little more, man, because I'm trying to follow. You know, Angel's Room said, "Do you think a world government was the first government to have control of the world?" I would probably say yes, but I think the ancient kingdom were bigger and they were probably more like worldwide, but they wasn't more concerned with control. You know, like I don't think controlling the world. You know, I think they was more about like a unifying an alliance, right? So, you know, it was the world government that actually wants to subjugate people and control. I mean, that's my opinion. What about you?
I think it seems right. I don't know. I'm a little bit of a conspiracy nut, totally. So, and by the way, Oda's totally a conspiracy nut. This is kind of funny. The Japanese community, like, all acknowledge he's, like, totally into Illuminati and shit. Sorry, I don't want to damage your channel, but he totally is. Like, he's totally into conspiracies, like, total nutcase.
Yeah.
So, the point being, it makes sense why the world government has been created for the first time with the recent one, because it's like the modern version that we live in our world, and we are like in the biggest state of like power consolidation. So for like a real life message, I think he wouldn't go a different route. I think he's always like tried to be like real in a certain way. Like he makes it loose sometimes, but it's always like with a kernel of truth.
Yeah. No, he does add a lot of real like history, modern stuff. Oda knows. Elin says, I did propose that the Adam tree roots could go down into hell, so that makes a lot of sense, Cube. I think he's talking about the Elbath being close to the Red Sea. Okay, yeah, I think I do remember him saying something like that, so that would make sense. Adam says, there has probably been a world government type of power pre-Joy Boy. Yeah, that could because you did say something about cycles, right? Like there was the moon cycle, the sun cycle. So maybe every time there's a moon cycle, that's when the figures that want to control and dominate and conquer the world comes around. So that could be the case,
That is, by the way, what the definition of government is. It's government is govern your mind. It's to control your mind.
Yeah.
So control comes from government itself. So it makes sense why in the time of like the ancient kingdom, it was like more of a open system with less control, with less government in totality, like more of a, how to say, some kind of model like that. So it makes sense.
Like people voluntarily follow Joy Boy, kind of like they voluntarily follow Luffy.
It's really weird. It's like kingdoms that are like separate, but at the same time unified under like an ideology, something like that. It's hard to describe. Maybe like a NATO situation. I don't even know what would be the best analogy. I don't want to get too political here, but it's a unique system. I think there's probably an analogy in the real world. I just can't find it. I can't think of one.
Elson Jackington said his epithet was initially meant to be clairvoyant before they settled on Hawkeye. Yeah, Elson Jackington did tell me that before, that Mihawk's name was supposed to be clairvoyant or something.
Right.
So,
which I didn't know either. What the fuck? It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, right. Eliz says perhaps eyes are observation, but in the same way that conquerors and armament can mix, perhaps observation and conquerors can mix. Also, in my chakra theory, the third eye chakra is linked to observation and has the element of light. Light is an electromagnetic spectrum. Haki is referred to as colors. So with the third eye chakra, you can use observation in a variety of ways that connects to all three types of Haki.
I think I know where it's going with it.
Yeah, I did say observation was kind of the most complex version of the Hakis, right? Because armament to me is more straightforward, right? Like it's more like it's a coating, right? You could coat, or you could also use it offensively as well, but it's still kind of an armor. Like imagine being able to place armor that you could kind of shoot and make it offensive versus defensive.
Though I'm like a psycho, I've totally thought this one through. Hardening and flowing are like yin and yang. Like totally. Like one is even black and one is white. So exactly like yin and yang. And hardening changes things internally. Like, for example, like your fist itself becomes hardened. Not like your, armor around it.
Okay.
Exactly. And flowing is the opposite of that. It's never internal. It's always external because the chakra, the chi flows out of your body.
Yeah.
So it's like a yin and yang motive with the two abilities. So, I could go in crazy mode because I'm a psycho when it comes to seriously, I have a problem. I have issues, man, when it comes to Haki.
Yeah.
I have thought way too much about it because I've realized. Wait, I don't even want to go there. He got me going, this Alex guy. I don't want to go there. I don't want to sound like a nut. But yeah, I think the Haki discussion will eventually happen. Like I have like a showdown with Alex on a mountain. And we're gonna discuss Haki, and like we wanna see who the Chi Master is by the end. I can totally see it happening.
Yeah, I've heard one of your theories, and I was like, bro, like some of his theories sound a lot like Eliz's theories. Like some of the stuff you were saying, it was kind of it was a different take, but it was very similar, right? So
it was scary for me, man. It was scary for me, dude. Part one, sheesh, you got me exposed, man. And he did this in 2020. What the fuck?
Yeah, man. Like,
to be fair, I'm fighting for this since 2018 or something. I'm fighting on Aura Jackson with all my Haki theories. And by the way, I was vindicated in basically all of them. I called Black Lightning being Conqueror's coding. Called Implosion flowing. I called Second Layer that is flowing. I literally called every straight of Haki. So I have some street cred when it comes to Haki. Okay. It's not Alex, okay? He knows it all, but yeah, I have some cred too. A little bit of cred, okay?
I mean, look, I believe sometimes when you could have a theory that other people could come up with the same theory without y'all ever really meeting. I think sometimes that could mean your theory is a little more credible because it means somebody else found, like the evidence was good enough to come up with the same, right? Like,
That's a good take.
Yeah. Especially if like the more people that come up with the same theory, sometimes it kind of makes a theory a little more legitimate, you know, because it's like,
You can tell this guy's the same shit as I am. Like I can tell like what he's watching, what he's reading. So I can tell he has the same feel. He has the same, how to say, same basis.
yeah. So you ready to get into this video?
Oh, let's fucking go. Let's go.
All right.
It's gonna be good.
All right.
I
So
hope the audio doesn't suck. I hate when I see older videos of mine and I hear this shit audio. I'm like so crying. I'm like, you bastard. Why don't you record it cleanly? But I don't think I think it will be fine. I think. I hope.
all right, I'm a
Hmm.
I'm a share it to your screen so you can see it. Window Chrome tab. You should be able to see it.
Yeah, you guys can shoot. I'm gonna get a new coffee quickly. One
Okay.
minute, I'm back. You can already start the video, no problem. I know
All
the
right.
beginning.
We got All Blue Boy in the building. Shout out to All Blue Boy and welcome to the channel. I haven't seen you here before. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you stopping through. Best Generation has taken a quick leave. He'll be right back. But we're going to get into this video. Vegapunk solve devil fruits. Can we as well find out? So yeah, we're about to get into this video. I might not stop as often, guys. And again, I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm not addressing your comments. You know, it's just, you know, trying to do this, trying to keep the conversation flowing good, so you guys have this good content. And we also had this video too. I'm gonna put the link to this video in the description. It's not there just yet, but I will put it in there. But let's get into it. We're gonna react to this video, and yeah, you know, why can't I fully spread it? It is what it is. This is what you guys gonna get. I don't, you know, it's not letting me do full screen. Let me see. I've read all the comments till now. I know there's a lot of earlier comments that I missed. Maybe I'll start, you know, I'll probably react to some of your comments like later in the stream, like after the video, possibly. I will be doing a stream later on Eliz channel, so y'all make sure y'all go hit Eliz channel. I won't be dual streaming it on my channel or anything. It's all gonna be on his channel. So yeah, y'all go check me out there. And that's part of the reason why I'm kind of, you know, trying to get through this stream, cause we got that stream, that later stream that's gonna be in like 2 hours, right? It's gonna be like 2 hours my time, so. Or just 2 hours in general. 2 hours everybody time. I don't know why I said my time, but let's get to this video. Vegapunk solve devil fruits. Can we as well find out?
And eventually connected to the mystical abilities within this series to get a more comprehensive view of what is going on. Many people have speculated a lot of things, and I would urge you to leave all, and I mean all, of your preconceived notions at the door and look at this whole situation with a fresh perspective. Cause I promise, if you do, you will realize that the answer is quite more simple, concrete and truthful to nature than you might initially think. By the end of this video, we will realize how the lineage factor helps us to understand.
Can you see the video and hear it?
Yep, I can hear it fine. Good.
All right. Anybody in the chat, if y'all had, what you say?
Thanks for asking.
Oh, cool, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in the chat, if there's any audio issues, y'all let me know.
And what devil fruits are made of, and we will finally answer the question. I'm talking about the swirl that we can find on devil fruits. The same one we can find on the Windsmoke Children, and it appears in random places, like when Shanks gave up his arm for Luffy in chapter 1. Yes, we will answer definitively what the meaning of that symbol
This video is fucking crazy, I'm telling you.
Along the way, we are mostly going to uncover Vegapunk's real backstory and go into a few possibilities that will certainly surprise you. So without further ado, keep an open mind and enjoy the journey. To keep it interesting, we won't go through the boring details that most of you are already familiar with and that have been stated countless times in other videos. Yes, the bloodline elements / the lineage factor that was discovered by Vegapunk is DNA. It's not complicated, it's shown on the screen while Yonji explains to us that Vegapunk has made that discovery in his early years. And this is where my focus will be. Because once we realize when Vegapunk has made certain discoveries, his real backstory will fall into place. So the phrase that Yonji used was early years. And it has been also stated at Karakura Island, the birthplace of Vegapunk. This is where he grew up and showed his compassion towards the people on that island. The people regard Vegapunk as a treasure, and through the repeated usage of the phrase early years, it is implied that Vegapunk discovered the lineage factor when he grew up on Karakura Island. This is furthermore proven by Frankie, who was sent to the very same...
Dang, so he, as a kid, he could have possibly discovered that. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that man would be amazing. And I would wonder if he would have been like the person who actually, like, did he learn about it or did he discover it? You know what I'm saying?
Or rediscover it or something.
Yeah, like did
he?
I
think the Ancient Kingdom, that kind of maybe.
Oh, so you think it's probably been learned since the Ancient Kingdom? That would make sense because I feel as though they might have been probably even more advanced, honestly. You know, like that. That's where I think like stuff like the wind dials, like or the impact dials. That for some reason, I hate how Oda kind of neglected wind dials since the time skip, because I think they were incorporated well. You know, especially with Usopp, right? Especially with Usopp, but we don't really see him talk about it that often. You know, but
it's one of those things where you can really actually critique Oda because I like that shit.
Yeah. It was like some unique technology that was useful. But yeah, let's continue.
Island, and he tells us that Vegapunk has researched human cells. This indicates that Vegapunk has already made research in the human genome at that time, which is also part of the lineage factor. And what do we see in the background while this information is being stated? Do we see the two tanks? What do they remind you of? I think you guessed it, the tanks that we can find with the Germa, when Yonji explains to us that humans can be built.
I never noticed that.
It indicates that Vegapunk was already in his early years a step away from the realm of godhood, as Yonji describes, the creation of humans. And now there's the question, what did Vegapunk use these tanks for? Who did he create or build, and what cells did he use? Well, probably his own cells, which in turn enables possibilities like Vegapunk cloning himself. This might sound crazy, but mind you, if...
That does not sound crazy at all. I will say that because how many anime have you seen, or just forms of fiction where you got some mad scientists who will clone himself, right? You look at One Punch Man, right?
Even Rick and Morty, that dude. Yeah, I had the One Punch Man. I had the guy in the thumbnail. I was thinking about that dude.
Oh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The I forgot, it was a science group or whatever.
Yeah, Xeno or something. ZZ.
But yeah, like it would make sense. I think it makes sense for, you know, it'd be like some way where he could stay alive or something, you know.
If it's any character, it's probably Vegapunk.
Like, honestly, though, think about this. Like, I don't know, maybe you talk about it in the video. Maybe you do. But think about Angel's Room said Orochimaru. But think of this. What if Vegapunk has been alive? Like, maybe he's been living since before the Void Century. And because you said he's learned it early, so maybe he already knew it. So, you know, maybe he has like a clone, so if he dies, maybe his conscience, like a primary clone, right?
By the way, I only found this later on after I've made the video when we see actually a scene with like Kuma being operated on in I think at Marineford, and we see like 3 scientists above Kuma, and they all look the same.
Oh,
Just saying, there are 3 scientists that look the same, all next to freaking.
I mean, I'm
And
pretty
by
sure
the
he
way-
needs help.
Just saying. That's it. So.
Nah, good point. I mean, like, look, what better help to help you with your experiments than you, right?
Exactly. For Vegapunk, it's like all the other guys are idiots. I need some real help. Who can help me?
That's
need me,
bro. That's probably why he did it in the first place. Like, I'm always dealing with, like, he's working with other super geniuses, and he's like, all these idiots don't, like, because they can't keep up with Vegapunk.
Queen is a clown. Queen is a punk. He's like, what the fuck? What's this goofball doing?
Well, let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
Any character has the capabilities and the know-how.
Yeah, there you go. That guy.
It's Vegapunk. And wouldn't this possibility explain how Vegapunk jumped ahead from 200 to 300 years to 500 years? More versions of Vegapunk mean more brain power. Now let's move on to devil fruits. This is where I think it gets really spicy, because it connects the deepest mysteries of One Piece with Vegapunk. Regarding devil fruits, let's get the lineage factor out of the way first. This one is actually quite easy, because the Smile plotline is about the very same subject. It is told to us by lore that Caesar used the application of Vegapunk's lineage factor to create the substance called sad, with which he can produce smiles, artificial devil fruits that are always zones. Why are there always zones, and what kind of effect do they have on people? We are ignoring the side effects right now and focus on whether it's successful.
I think I know where you're going with that. Because it's like, think about it. If he already knows how to manipulate DNA, what better way? You can't really manipulate like Logia. You can't manipulate like elements. So creating like a Logia devil fruit probably be a little tough. Not saying he couldn't do it. I think Vegapunk probably could, But like an animal, you get the DNA of animal, you create a devil fruit. He already know how to do it. But I'm gonna let you talk. I just kind of wanted to point that out.
Let's see where it's going.
From Smile.
What'd you say?
Now let's see where it's going.
All right.
Gonna be some twists and turns up right now.
All right, cool.
Merge the body with the animal that lingers within the fruit. If it's a lion, like with Holem's case, he has the original body of his, plus parts of the consumed lion. Though the lion remains with.
I'm sorry to have to cut it off, but I just can't. I just thought of something. Why? When with these Smile devil fruits exclusively, right? Why do these people, like the users of these Smile fruits, why are their animals alive, right? Like they have these, like you got Hold'em right here. He has a lion. That lion has, it's almost like a separate life from Hold'em.
He's sentient. I call it a sentient.
It's sentient, exactly. It has a will. So do these Smile devil fruits perhaps also have wills? You know what I'm saying? Like, we was talking about the wills in normal devil fruits.
So it's a little bit different. A different wavelength is within there. Otherwise, because the normal devil fruits, they are like a perfect match.
Yeah,
they have the same wavelength, but with Smiles, it's like a disconnect, a dissonance, 2 different worlds in one body.
And plus, it's imperfect. It's imperfect too.
Yeah, it's imperfect, exactly.
So the 2 different wills can't. So the different wills can't get. Angel's Room said chimeras.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let you continue though. I just had to say that because I was like, you brought Hold'em up, and I remember how that line acted independently.
Yeah, he hit his nuts, but got the same pain.
Yeah,
so their bodies are connected, but they're 2 different
like
worlds.
Siamese twins or something. Let's continue.
With his own sentience, and their bodies are more connected / merged. This is quite different from real devil fruits that have the swirling pattern on them, because they are not made of the same thing. The thing that Caesar used to produce sad are animals. The chopped up body parts that have been used by law to fix the henchmen of Caesar's have been processed into liquid form. This is what sad is, and is the reason why an animal is merging with the body of the person who consumes a smile. This helps us greatly to understand what real devil fruits are made of, because Vegapunk was actually successful in doing the impossible. It is stated to us in Dressrosa that the same devil fruit can't exist twice in the world. When a devil fruit user dies, the energy that is contained within a body moves to the nearest fruit of the same type. It's an endless cycle of one. But even though that is the case, Vegapunk was able to copy the fish fruit model Azure Drake, Kaido's devil fruit, and now Momonosuke has the very same ability. The reason for that should be clear right now. Whatever is in real devil fruits is not an animal. And what is it? For that, we need to use the case of Tama, who has the ability to tame animals with her devil fruit. She can't tame humans, it only works on animals, and hence while smile users can be controlled, smiles are made out of sad, which are produced with animal DNA. At the same time, she can't control a real devil fruit Zoan. Why is that the case? It proves that whatever is within the devil fruits, it's the one thing that Tama can't control. And which one is it? Well, I think you know the answer. It's humans. She can't control the human wavelength. So, by inference, we can determine that whatever is contained within real devil fruits, it contains human DNA. And there are way more case studies that we can use here and come to the very same conclusion. An example for that would be Sugar's Hobby no Mi, that proves definitively that devil fruits have access to the collective human consciousness. Devil fruits are related to humanity itself. Then we have the whole plotline with the Mirror no Mi, where Sabo was able to perceive Ace's will, proving that his lingering spirit is contained within the Mirror no Mi, which again indicates the very same. These ideas are abstract, but I think...
So, I mean, maybe you might explain this soon. So it's like you believe that the devil fruit has human DNA or like the human soul in it.
Because it's like one and the same, and we will get to that too. That like how they say, the science is combined with like the mystical in the story of One Piece. Like it's one and the same. That's why like devil fruits are something mystical, magic ability, but then science people like Gamma, they have the swirling pattern on them. It's like one and the same. It's like you can go with science and create like artificial abilities, artificial devil fruits, all of that stuff. Or you can use that like with Haki, or you can use that with devil fruit. It's like you can like different avenues to come to the same endpoint. To replicate the same ability.
Okay. So you believe that Vegapunk was somehow able to successfully take maybe a piece of Kaido's essence, or you know, like maybe he took his DNA, but with it, like where some people could take DNA, they can't fully take like, I guess the spirit, right? Vegapunk found a way to take like that certain aspect from Kaido and created that fruit. Like that's.
But I think it's one and the same. That's the thing. It's like one and the same. And actually, if you look at it, like with like abstract thinking, like the devil fruits, they have like a swirling pattern on them, and I will explain the swirling pattern in full detail. But think about it, this swirling pattern.
Yeah.
What does this look like? What does this have to do with science? You see the DNA string. It's like a swirling pattern as well. So Oda is like clever about it. I think he just like connects these like dots with like these abstract ideas.
Yeah, spirals
so
definitely like spirals or swirls, they definitely have a big, they're very symbolic in a lot of like, especially in a lot of fiction, right? Like you got Naruto, right? Naruto, he has the swirling thing, right? The wind. You look at the old anime, Gurren what's it called, Gurren Lagann. Yeah, the whole thing is about the fighting the Spiral King, and it's a lot about spirals and stuff. And spirals usually, it's a symbol of life, I guess. So
rotation, motion,
yeah,
motion. I will get to this. I will get to all of that. Yeah.
And even in science, that's relevant because there's like the spiral, right? Like kind of look like a shell, you know, kind of like a, you know, like we were talking about the impact dials, kind of look like a snail shell.
Right. And it says a spiral energy on it too. I didn't thought about it. Yes, exactly.
And I think in mathematics that's relevant in math and science, like that whole
like
spiral.
The golden ratio. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then we're looking at spirals on these devil fruits. But yeah, I'm gonna let you continue.
You understand, this series heavily suggests that real devil fruits contain human DNA, and that is why Vegapunk was able to replicate it. He performed experiments on Kaido, a human, and human genes is what Vegapunk researched even before maths. Now, given all that, we have to tie now the scientific with the mystical. This is where I might lose some of you, but I hope you give me some rope here, because this one is not easy to explain. Even though the series is confirming this 10 times fold, it never does in absolute terms, otherwise everyone would already know about it and it wouldn't be a mystery to begin with. So, what is the pattern on devil fruits? It's a swirl, and you should understand that this is somehow a core idea.
Hey, so that means Sanji is a devil fruit too.
In a way, yeah. I see what you mean.
Hey man, or the Vinsmokes, they're all devil fruits. They got ability. They all do kind of got abilities, right?
Well, they have the swirling energy in them, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
and their DNA got altered. That's what caused the thing. So
yeah, and this talks a lot about Eliz's theory about like you could create devil fruit abilities. You know, and maybe that's what they did in the ancient kingdom, you know?
Yeah, I think it was like the original shit. It's always like a replica, it seems like. Like science copies what you can do like in reality if you like have the voice of all creation or something like that. It's like the God's ability to create. So yeah, of course it will be a replica of that with science. It's maybe like even a point Oda is making right now that like science tries to play God. I don't even know where it's going, but there's a meaning there.
And that's kind of a Vegapunk scene. But let's continue.
Bless you.
Thank you. Try not to sneeze in the mic.
Of Oda's. It appears at least twice, depending on the interpretation. In chapter 1, that is when Luffy eats the rubber fruit, and after Shanks sacrifices his arm, it appears in the ocean. It made countless appearances throughout the story, even more abstract ones like the windmill tattoo of Nami's, the Tomoe, which are the 3 karmas we see throughout the entire series, including Anil, Sentomaru, and more. Even the swastika, that was the original flag of Whitebeards, is a swirl as well. And I might.
I know they couldn't keep that though, man. Like Oda probably would have got some. He would have got some drawback if he would have kept that swastika up there.
That's right. And by the way, he changed it into a cross, symbol of Jesus Christ. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. By the way, if you didn't know that, the swastika is like a sun symbol. Symbol. So swirling energy, life, rebirth, all of that stuff. And then he changed it into a cross, coincidentally. The rebirth. The most famous rebirth in human history, one could say.
Yeah, Jesus, right? But yeah, like you said, the swastika hasn't always had like a bad connotation. It was just Hitler, just like the Nazi party. They kind of gave it a bad
rap
connotation.
Bad rap.
All right, but let's continue.
I think I see why the people are upset. I think I see it a little bit why they would be upset.
Yeah, I mean, so, I get it, but but you can't it wasn't originally intended to be some bad thing, like you can't, like, you know what I'm saying? But I get why people will kind of be like, Oda, this ain't a good look, Oda.
It was a good symbol. It's just an acknowledgement. It was a good symbol. That's all it says. It wasn't good.
Let's continue though.
at Ace and Whitebeard, who died at Marineford, both of their devil fruits and stories are directly related to the mystery of the devil fruits through the example of Blackbeard and Sabo, who inherited the respective devil fruit. And the swirl is also present in one of the main characters, Sanji, that is related to the whole Gamma plotline and the science in that matter, and it was revealed to us at Whole Cake Island.
I got a question for you. I'm sorry. It's a little off topic, right? I don't know if Cube is still in the chat, but I don't know if it was Cube. It might have been Angel's Room. It was one of y'all in the chat. They was talking about, I guess, Sanji in one of the recent chapters. His eyebrow was on a flip side, right? Like it wasn't
right.
So
it seemed fixed. It seemed finally fixed, like where it's like this and like this.
Yeah. So their thing was that moment where it was that aesthetic mistake, you know, because some people might say it's a mistake. Now, their argument was it wasn't a mistake because they believed that. Now, I don't know if this was Angel's Room. I think it was Angel's Room or Cube, but their argument was that this happened right before Sanji's DNA kicked in. So maybe it was a symbol that his body's changed, and it became like, because his was always opposite of his brothers
or something.
Yeah, like his was always the opposite side of his brothers. So maybe since he was becoming more like his family, his eyebrow. So it was Elson Jackson. Okay, he said that. So what you think? You think it was a mistake by Oda or intentional?
I would like to think it's not a mistake, but because we haven't seen a second panel with Sanji yet, I leave my opinion out. I like it not to be a mistake. I think like Sanji's body is not perfected and Oda didn't fuck this one up. Yeah. Because it would be really bad if he kind of fucked this one up if it wasn't intentional. It would be pretty bad, like, because it's kind of monumental. But Oda doesn't make mistakes like this often. He does them actually never, so I don't know. Yeah. I think it probably was intentional. But if it turns out it was just a mistake, I'm like, okay, whatever, it's happened.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. But I see the logic perfectly. I totally agree with it. Sanji, perfect body, his eyebrows change, it's now perfect, symmetry, all of that shit. It's now perfected, he became himself. All of it. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So we just gotta wait to see another Sanji panel, right?
Yeah,
well,
at least
full face, you know. But yeah, I just wanted your thought on that. So it was Elson Jackson, shout out to him. Maybe you're on to something. I kind of chalked it up as a mistake, but I mean, you know, like the part when he said this happened right before, you know, the whole body change thing. I was like, maybe.
It's like if it would happen, it would have been there, I suppose. So there is something to the idea.
Yeah,
it could have been not a mistake.
Yeah,
Any other moment, I would have said no, but with this moment, maybe.
Yeah, just because the timing of it. So I can't just brush it. You know, I couldn't just brush it off. So, but let's continue.
His siblings also have the same swirl, though it's not a natural thing. Judge and Sora, the parents of the Windsmoke siblings, don't have this pattern, and only after genetic manipulation, the altering of human DNA, this pattern appeared. But what if I told you that the swirl appears in hundreds of scenes throughout the series, but you don't recognize it as such? The instances I'm referring to is when we see strong human emotions, and in particular, negative ones, like anger, rage, sadness, and many more. Suddenly, the pattern appears on screen. Even areas that have been war-torn, like Kuraigana Island, have the swirl lingering around the area. Strong emotions lead to the creation of the swirling pattern in a metaphysical sense, but at the same time, humans are physical. I hope you understand now what I meant when I said the science is combined with the mystical. One point of illustration would be when Kako and Khalifa are being offered to consume devil fruits, and the same pattern of human emotion that we have seen so many times before is also...
I really have never noticed that all these swirls and all these different scenes, like how they And it's, you know, like the especially the devil fruit scene you see like on screen now. Man, like that definitely it's definitely one of those things under the radar things that Oda snuck in, you know. Like that's the stuff I always appreciate the most about Oda. Like some of the under the radar hints he give you that most people don't even
visual
catch.
hints, like visual.
Yeah. But yeah, let me continue. I just had to say that because that was definitely something. And look at the matter of fact, look at the Oda boxes. When you notice the Oda boxes at the corners of them,
they have always the swirl, always.
Yeah.
You can't unsee this now. This is like,
Yeah,
it's
like,
literally in his signature. Oda has it in his signature. He's a psychopath. He always puts it in his signature. Like he's like the swirl, man. Pay attention to the swirl.
Like I've never even noticed it, you know, like until I just watched this video and you got me seeing swirls everywhere, and now I'm looking at this Oda box and I'm like, swirl.
Swirl.
All right, let's continue.
Being emitted by these devil fruits, and it's being described as having a gravitational pull. Even the pattern surrounding the devil fruits reflect that. They go in one direction on the left side, but into another on the right side. Human emotions have a gravity to them that draws other people. And hopefully you realize the real life implications here for yourself, and that this is a truth. Oda is not going for random ideas, but with concrete abstract themes that resonate with us as people because they are true. Even for characters like Luffy, what is being told to us by Mihawk at Marineford? Luffy has the most dangerous ability of all. Want him to succeed. He has a magnetic personality, one could say. He has a gravitational pull. We use terms like we are drawn to people and that we are repelled by them, because this is a real life phenomenon that is also present in the power system of One Piece. When it comes to Haki or devil fruits, it's a metaphor for exactly that. Your determination, your willpower, your observation, your ability to conquer others, to be armament, to have a certain skill that other people don't have and you know how to use it. One could say your swirl determines your destiny. But to get to the bottom of this mystery, we need to keep it simple, because the answer is a funny joke that works in many languages, including English. We have concluded that devil fruits are made of human DNA, emotions, and that they have a gravitational pull to them. Let's see what the definition of swirl is. It's a spinning mass or motion. It's literally motion, but it's also in emotion. I am talking feelings, and the reason for that is because it's true. Emotions are motions, changes of mood within a human that determine his gravitational pull towards others. And believe it or not, Oda showed us the direct meaning of the swirl in an abstract way. He did it within a goofy panel that might look ridiculous, but if you had enough patience up until now, you might jump out of your seat. Right before we get the first foreshadow of Vegapunk at Annie's lobby, we get this panel at the beginning of Water 7. What do you see on this drawing? We see the sun that emits light, and its body is represented with the very famous swirl. Well, what did we just concluded was the meaning of the swirl? In a physical sense, it's a spinning mass, motion, like the sun. When it comes to the sun, it's rotating, hence why the swirling motion appears on it. And if we combine this now with another piece of information that Oda revealed to us in an SBS, where somebody asked what is the meaning of Sanji's eyebrows, Oda answers it differently but quite with the same idea in mind. He says that everyone lives in circles. The sun, the moon, the earth, and it would be catastrophic if they stop. The world would end. And Sanji has the very same energy contained within his eyebrows. Motion and emotion. Cause what did Sanji use at the beginning when he used Diable Jambe for the first time? At Annie's lobby. By the way, not a coincidence. He spun around. He used motion to create flames. That of course changed later on. When Nami was kidnapped, one arc...
It's funny you said that, because Because I was just talking about how, like me and Eliz pretty much, or his theory is people can make devil fruit abilities. And Sanji is probably one of the biggest examples.
Case study.
Yeah. How did Sanji use a devil fruit ability, right? Like, how was he able to create a devil fruit ability? By spinning. What are what's the design on devil fruits? They spin.
It's spinning. Exactly.
Like
it's like a wordplay. It's a wordplay. Yeah.
To me, you just kind of like validated that theory right there. With the whole talking about the spinning and everything. That's like I can
see it.
I didn't even think about the actual spin part of using Sanji as an example. I didn't even think of how the spin is so relevant to him creating this ability, right? Him making this ability that could be considered.
It's literally happening. That's how they say. It's literally happening, and then later on, it's figuratively happening.
And if you,
it's always this one-to-one transition, this transition of idea, like how the idea progresses, how it's like set up.
I was about to use Zoro, but I'm my memory might just be misplaced and thing because I remember when he goes into his Ashura mode. Does he spin his swords? Maybe not. I know he does like something.
I don't think so.
I know he does like a shape with like he creates like a triangle with the handles. So he don't spin them, but they're kind of in a spinning shape to a degree. Not that he's spinning, but he's kind of like making a swirl almost with all his swords and when he goes into his
he uses haki, so he uses Conqueror's haki, so he uses this same energy, one could say. This how do they say, the electromagnetism, swirling energy, whatever you want to call it. Vibrations, wavelengths, something like that.
Yeah.
It's all the same. That's the thing, it's all the same, just like a different word to describe the same phenomenon.
Right, and I was going to use Luffy because I know there's a few times he spin, but those are just some moves I can't really relate to. We got Rage One Piece in the building. Shout out to Rage One Piece. He said, "Chili."
Shout out.
And
that's right.
Angel's Room said, "Doesn't he spin during his attack?" As far as Zoro, you mean Zoro?
I think Sanji.
Oh, okay.
Zoro?
I don't know. He didn't say which person. He just said doesn't he spin. I know Sanji spins to activate, and I don't know if Zoro spins at all though. So I don't think Zoro spins. He says Zoro. I don't know. I had to check. I had to look. I don't remember him spinning though. Like for some reason I kind of do, but maybe that's just more the shape. Maybe I was thinking.
Yeah, I remember there was a spin at like Skypiea, the 108 Phoenix Pound. There was like a swirling energy. Yeah, that was important, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. That was happening right before this arc? No. Something right before Water 7 though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but let's continue. Let's continue.
Later at Thriller Bark, what did Sanji use? And from that point onward, almost always he used emotions. Motions and emotions can create flames. And wouldn't you know, look at the bottom of the panel. You again see the same swirling pattern. Again, for the evil aura that Zoro is exuding as he did in the earliest chapters of One Piece during his introduction. It is a consistent theme that goes through the entire series.
Hey, I'm a little off topic. I just kind of want to give a shout out because Oda, like you just speaking on Thriller Bark for a second. It's just like remember he gave us all those zombie captains. Like we had one of them was one of Rock's Zebek's crew, Silver, right? Yeah, I just thought that was interesting that he gave us that back in Thriller Bark.
And there's actually a fear out there that we saw all three extra dudes. The Silver Axe, because there was like one guy with Silver Axe next to Captain John, and then there was like this Fang Ji, this like Chinese character, and the other Garrett had like this Chinese like thing.
Yeah,
so this might have been all three Rocks pirates.
I
didn't come up with it. I found this on Google by accident. Just found it by accident.
Bro,
but there was something to the idea, I think.
It's wild how much Wano is connected with so many other arcs. Like, cause Because then we got the like in Wano, we pretty much learned about Rocks and the Rocks crew a little bit, like a little bit, and then Silver's like we get some of that back in Thriller Bark, and also the fact that Gecko Moria had a rivalry with Kaido, right? That and somebody posted in the Discord today that I found interesting. If you go back to Skypiea, there was and y'all could go to the Discord and look. It was a picture of like an old like hieroglyphic or something, right? Like an old thing. I had to show you it or send it to you. It had like a guy with a shield, right? It was a guy with a shield. I think he had a sun on the shield or whatever, and he was fighting a Hydra, or he was fighting a guy with like a bunch of dragon heads, kind of like Orochi,
Oh,
so,
cool.
You know, I thought that was interesting. You know,
I'm seeing it right now. It looked like a snake dude.
Yeah.
So, like Hydro, Orochi, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But in mythology, you gotta have to fight. How do you say? If a new dawn should come or a new era, you gotta kill the dragon.
Yeah.
The dragon is like part of mythology. You gotta kill the dragon so a time change occurs. So it kind of makes sense that like the sun god killed a dragon or like a snake. And by the way, snake dragon, same thing.
Yeah.
And even in the last chapter, that was I think made clear because somebody, I think Nami called Kaido a giant snake or a giant snake.
Yeah.
So a dragon and a snake is the same thing. Like in Naruto, the snake became a dragon. It's like the same stuff in mythology.
Angel's Room said he is usually using emotion after Water 7. I think he's talking about Zoro. Or no. I think Sanji maybe. Elid said, this is mind-blowing. I'm going to have to watch your video 2 to 3 more times.
Thank you very much, Elid. I appreciate it. That's what we want. The right people liking it. Let's go.
Right. One Life Man said, I think after Joy Boy, they're going to explain where the devil fruits came from. Yeah, I think we probably won't get an explanation to like Vegapunk they bring Vegapunk. Like, I think he's probably going to be the one to give us that exposition because he knows all the secrets, right? So I think he's like the right person.
That's exactly what I expected too with Vegapunk. Like that's like his role and purpose.
Yeah.
All his purpose in the story. Yeah.
But yeah, let's continue.
Motions are internal motions, which are represented by the swirling pattern. And here comes the kicker. The same is true for Sanji's siblings. Judge took their emotions away in exchange for abilities. If this is not a metaphor, I don't know what is. Also, Ace's emotions have been communicated with Sabo after he consumed the Meromeronomy. Artificial devil fruits, aka smiles. What is the side effect of the dots that don't grant abilities? They lose all their emotions except for laughter. And funnily enough, through the entire story, when somebody is laughing, you will never see the swirling pattern. What a coincidence. Though, if the case could be even stronger right about now, somebody asked Oda in an SBS.
It's almost like a sun.
Leg isn't too
exactly.
Hot. You know what Oda said? He said Sanji's leg.
I'm gonna go back a little bit because it kind of look like a sun's behind her, right? And then,
what a coincidence!
And then the next one, we've got the same thing, look like the sun. Maybe some sun guy, Joy Boy.
No, if the case could be even stronger right about now, somebody asked
Luffy's son.
If
Drum of Liberation activating the source. Saying, it's like every human seems to have it.
Yeah.
Have this wavelength, this sun wavelength.
Yeah. I wonder if like Blackbeard ever gets the sun when he laughs, like if like when he's happy and laughing.
Dude, he's always gonna be a moon face, dude.
Cube said the third eye is totally about observation hockey. Yeah, man. And all blue boys say Luffy rebirth. I mean, when you look at the rebirth of the sun, you know what I'm saying? This like, so in a sense, what's going on right now is kind of like a Luffy rebirth, right? Like he died and he is rebirthed, kind of like the sun. You know,
exactly.
The sun at night the sun, like morning, the dawn is pretty much every morning or every dawn is like the rebirth of the sun, right?
Exactly, and the moon is just hidden from the sun. That's the thing. The moon is always up. You just can't see it because the light is too strong.
True.
So it's like, how to say it?
I mean, you actually can see it sometimes, so you're right though. Like I've seen it in broad daylight plenty of times. But yeah, let's continue.
Too hot. You know what Oda said? He said Sanji's leg is hot. What are you even talking about? It's not hot at all. Sanji's heart, meaning his feelings, have been burning much harder. His emotions is what created that fire. Though there's another thing regarding the swirling pattern to talk about that is required to understand how it ties to the themes of One Piece. It being inherited will, the dreams of its people, or the destiny of the age. Because there's one thing that definitively shows what the deepest meaning of the swirl is. There's one thing that Vegapunk's artificial devil fruit is lacking. It doesn't have a swirl. Why? What is the additional meaning of it?
I mean, if you include the stem though of the fruit, it does.
There is something to that, yeah.
But it doesn't have them on the actual fruit though, like most other devil fruits. But I just had to throw that in there. If you look at that stem, that's the only swirl there. But it doesn't have like those swirl patterns.
That's right. But even that one looks different a little bit, I would say.
Yeah.
Because the other one have like a, how do you say,
They kind of have like a T with a swirl or something.
Yeah, like this, and then the swirl like here. Even even that swirling stem is different than the other ones, I think.
They usually have like a little extra stem, and then on the end of one of those.
Which makes sense, by the way. Maybe the stem says if it's like an ability, so the symbol means it's an ability, but it's not the point that I'm going to make about now. But that thing is lacking.
All right. I'll let it rock. I just had to point that up.
And I'm just gonna straight up say it, because you can see the swirl is present in the depiction of the devil fruit cycle. The swirling energy that is contained within the devil fruit is what.
Yeah, bro. I guess you're about to talk about it right now, so I'm sorry that I had to stop it and talk about it. But in the fruit, like the dead one, right? His soul comes out and it's a swirl, right? So the soul, the swirl signifies the soul, and then it goes into a devil fruit. So that is kind of say that these devil fruits might be souls, man. They might actually be souls.
It's kind of fact. It's kind of fact. Just saying. It's kind of fact.
Angel's Room said, "Oh, in Sanji's flames, color change a lot." Yeah, there's I guess a future color spread that they got for, I guess, one of the future chapters, and it has like Sanji on it, and his leg is blue, like the flames. Like, have you seen that one?
That, I think. Yeah.
It has like Luffy, Kaido, Zoro, King, Sanji, Queen.
Which makes sense. He's associated with the color blue. He's the color blue. I think Zoro's green, Sanji's blue, and Luffy's red. So kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Even though I would think Sanji's like, I feel like Sanji's like expressed in like 3 colors though, because he got like he's like, when you look at, he's yellow, right? Like he got yellow hair, as opposed to his other brothers who have like red, orange, or red, green, blue, or whatever, and pink. And then but his color as a Vent Smoke is black, right? Like his stealth black. And he wears a lot of black, so. But
that's right.
Yeah. Elid says Lunarians have burning hearts. Their heart could be made of fire because of passion, like Sanji, or hatred. What happened to the Lunarians like that? It can't be from the red line being taken from them, because they were known to have fire powers before then. So so I guess he's saying something. There's some type of something motivating that passion in the Lunarian's heart if it's made of fire.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Elis, you're gonna have to expand on that on the stream on the stream later. So Cause I'm really curious.
For sure.
Yeah. But let's continue.
It goes to the nearby fruit and reincarnates it. It's about life, death, and rebirth. That's what the swirl actually represents. And by the way, is the actual meaning of a swirl like the swastika? It's not a coincidence that Oda is using that symbol. That's what it is in our world, and that's why the devil fruits have that symbol. And it's lacking in Vegapunk's artificial devil fruit, which means it's not part of the devil fruit cycle. When Momonosuke dies, that energy will not be reborn. It's missing the swirl. And we can see this even in other cases, like with Smiley at Punk Hazard, where Caesar made that poison gas consumes the salamander devil fruit. And what happens once Smiley dies? That energy, the swirling energy, goes to the nearby fruit, and that fruit turns into a devil fruit with the swirl. Yes, indeed, everyone lives in circles, including the sun, moon, and earth. It's about the cycle of life, and hence why devil fruits have one as well. Like us humans, they are part of a continuum. We are not the beginning or end by ourselves. We are part of a chain that goes to the very inception of humanity.
Man, you just spit some bars right there. The circle of life. Like, think about it. Like, that really, honestly, now I'm kind of thinking that. Now I'm actually kind of more convinced that what's going on with Luffy now, with like Joy Boy.
It all makes sense, right?
It might
be expected almost.
It might be related to the devil fruit. It might be.
Definitely.
And
I think this might be the truth to the Zunisha fruit situation, like why the Gorosei use the word fruit. I think they are like Oda's setting up that like fruit is like another way of saying ability or something like this. It's like the fruit.
Yeah.
It's like of a tree, and it's like going its life and death. It's like a spring. It's like all of it, the circle of life, you can say.
Yeah.
So it's like a fruit, the fruit and ability.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm starting to really be sold on this idea that these souls are created with devil fruits, right? So, or they, people. So maybe Joy Boy did live in the Gummo Gummo no Mi. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his soul was within that. And when Luffy died, that's when the devil fruit awakened, and the soul within the devil fruit awakened as well. And it's Joy Boy, so it probably worked different from other devil fruits. So where when they die, when normal devil fruit users die,
the devil fruit leaves the body, but with Joy Boy, it's like, dude, I'm too powerful. I'm reviving Luffy. Like it's
I like this guy. Like
it's like he's cool.
Like Joy Boy, like I like this
Joy
guy.
Boy Solus. I'm used to him, man. He has a good time. I like this guy.
He liked the party. I like that.
Yeah, he can dance, dude. I like a good dancer. I like a good dance.
And we got the same fashion. He wears my hat, right? So
it's like, dude, he is swagging.
Angel's Room said the colors he's been shown to have, talking about Sanji, blue, yellow, orange, and red. So I guess those are the different fires, the different types of fires with, or his flames, his color is. Yeah, so Elson Jackson said initial shirt color was blue. At Onigashima, his suit is red. Some things to consider, perhaps. Are we talking about the flame? Are you guys talking about the flames or the clothes? I'm a little confused, cause.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the video. I'll wait for you.
You who are hearing my voice right now are part of the beginning of humanity, where it all started, whatever the start is. Your life itself is a cycle, and your father and your grandfather had their cycle, and so forth. The soul in that sense also represents life and death, and that humans can only act within their own lifetime. So motions, actions, emotion can only be expressed within one's life, and hence why it's so vital to realize that that concept is required to obtain control over your own life. that you become enlightened and uncover the truth of the world. At this point, we switch again from the mystical to the scientific, now that we grasp the meaning of the swirling pattern. That is motion, emotion, the cycle of life and death, and that devil fruits contain human DNA. We need to bring this back to Vegapunk and his last discovery. The final research of Vegapunk is what will unlock the true backstory of the man that is 500 years ahead of his time. So what was this final
take is incoming. A hard take is incoming. Realized
what Say what?
There's a hard take incoming, and there will be a plot twist regarding the identity of Vegapunk. You don't see it coming, I think. You don't see it coming.
Okay.
It will shock you. Gotta prepare you.
It's Monkey D. Gart. That's the. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, it's something outlandish like that. You'll be like, what the?
Kind of.
It's Eam. It's Eam. Eam disguised himself as Vegapunk. Nah, let me stop. I'm gonna let you say.
Within devil fruits. And you have waited a long time, so I'm just gonna say it. It is technically electromagnetism, but we are not gonna make it too overly complicated and simply state it's a form of light. Which, if you recall the gag drawing, rays of light were shown in conjecture with the swirl. And who do you see at the bottom of the page? It's Frankie. Frankie is being foreshadowed here, and he was the one who was sent to Vegapunk's lab to uncover exactly this mystery. And we will get to that when we talk about the incorporation of Kizaru's laser into Frankie's arsenal. The energy that is contained within devil fruits is light. There are quite frankly tons of reasons to believe that. From the effect of salt on electromagnetism, the sea, what Haki is and why it negates devil fruits. And we will talk about that in the next video. But for this one, I will just give you an example that is an airtight case. We are going to put our thinking cap on. You probably can determine this for yourself right now. Just ask yourself, what is the devil fruit that negates other devil fruits? And I will give you 5 seconds right about now. You can
Darkness.
stop the video if you want.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. The
I don't think you even had to like.
Wait, what is darkness? Well, darkness doesn't exist. It's not a physical thing. It's a concept. It means the absence of light. It means not light. The energy that is contained within devil fruits is light, and hence why darkness nullifies its effect. Is this part of the
By the way, you can see electricity on the devil fruit cycle. I haven't mentioned this.
Say what?
When somebody gets a devil fruit power, you see it on screen, you see electrical currents on it, on the thing. I think I forgot to mention this, but this is just like facts
I'm curious. Okay, so devil fruits have a lot to do with light. So what does that mean for the light devil fruit though?
I will get to this. You are thinking ahead again, future sight. But can you go a little bit back?
A little bit back.
Like one left click, I think, with the just for the same panel that's showing, that's like transitioning.
Oh, hold on.
Because if you look on the right side, after you consume a devil fruit, what do you see? It's like on screen. You see electrical currents.
Oh yeah. I see it on the red one, right next
devil
to the
fruits are
angry
electricity,
Okay.
electromagnetism. It's like literally shown on screen. It's not like a joke. It's like it's really what it is.
No, I see it, and then we see the soul. Kind of like when I pointed that out, and then we got the electric right there.
Plus, when the devil fruit reincarnates, you see the light. You see light rays. It's like it's like all shown visually. It's like crazy. Oda's like not hiding it even. You're gonna have to.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue though. I'm waiting on this crazy take.
Yeah.
That's why darkness nullifies its effect. Is this part of the reason why Blackbeard threw a black blanket over Whitebeard so the light of the devil fruit doesn't escape? Almost certainly. And that is why Oda is drawing the sun as a swirl and a ray of light. It helps us understand the deep.
You kind of scared me for a second. I thought she was gonna go talk about how the dark amplifies white or Blackbeard's darkness. Which, I mean, it probably could. I mean,
probably does actually, yeah.
Because a lot of people, there's like a point. A lot of people say that like if if a certain devil fruit user is around the element, I guess it amplifies it, right? So if like, let's say Akainu was fighting around a volcano, he'd be even stronger. I mean, I guess there is some because he could probably use that magma as
more,
well.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's with crocodile, I think, the case in like sand areas.
But like, I don't know if that's the case because Kizaru is always around light, right? Like, so is his ability always amplified because he's always taken in light, right? So
that's right. When he fights during the day, I think it's the same probably, right? During the day now.
Yeah, like if he fights during the night, he's not that strong, you know.
Yeah, but that should work in reverse too, then, right? Then that probably doesn't make sense. The idea.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
It would be too much trouble for the series. I think too much trouble.
I think it helps. I'm not saying I don't think it helps. Like, let's say somebody like Akainu, who's fighting in the volcano, because he could just, probably use that as a source. So I guess there's some validity to it. You know.
Yeah, I can see it. For Crocodile, I believe that totally. Like I think it will stay that he can fight better in the sand because sand is around him. Yeah. So he has more control of sand, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so he could kind of combine his sand with the other sand. So I guess there's some validity to it. Yeah.
It happened in Naruto, literally, with Gaara.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, yeah, let's continue.
Deepest truth of.
Hold on. If you put a rubber, if Luffy was wearing a rubber suit, would he be stronger? Would he be stronger?
Kind of we can't think about. I don't know.
If he was fighting in a rubber house, would he be stronger?
In a rubber house, I don't know.
I mean, I guess you say
I can feel it. I feel it. The answer is no, probably. So I don't know why. But maybe it's different for Logia's end.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, let's continue though, for real.
Devil fruits.
No, there's an explanation actually. Sorry.
Explanation.
Because it was explained to us in the context. By the way, this ties into us both thinking that the rubber devil fruit is probably only the rubber devil fruit. Because the rubber devil fruit has been like introduced in relation to paramecia, the concept. And it's explained to us by Enel that paramecia, the effect of them is that they retain their original shape, whatever that means. So I think because he can like stretch and it goes back, it's like his original shape. Like he can change it, but it goes back to his original shape. I think that is the like distinction between devil fruits, quite frankly. Because Logia, the act that your shape changes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that is the defining characteristic of a paramecia. And where the fuck did I want to go with this? I don't know. What was the topic before? I have no idea why I brought this up. I don't know why I brought this up. I forgot. I think I had a point.
We was talking about how like certain, like if you're in the environment around your element, I guess. Yeah. You know, like if Luffy was around rubber.
Right. And because Logia, they don't retain their shape, so they can change their shape to like become part of the environment or something like this. I guess it makes sense why it would enhance their abilities of like Crocodile, Akainu or something like this, but not for Luffy. So there's actually like a reason why that could be making sense.
Yeah.
That you can get stronger.
Yeah. But like, and you got zones also, right? Zones change shape, but they don't it's like they change shape, but they still retain their shape. Cause they're like, they just turn into something else, but then they retain that shape. Like if you're a dragon, Kaido shapeshifts into a dragon, but he can't shapeshift into just anything, right? He can't shapeshift into a dog or, he can only shapeshift. His shapeshifting is very limited as opposed to a Logia where they could kind of expand or, retract or whatever. Angel Room said Luffy equals red, Zoro equals green, Sanji equals black. All Blue Boy says, I forget, is Akainu a producer or is he just a Promethea thing? Akainu is a Logia. He is a magma Logia where he can become magma, So he's not a Promethea though, But let's continue.
Up the video by concluding what Vegapunk's true backstory is. And if you follow my channel up until now, you might be thinking, didn't you make a Vegapunk video where you theorized with no evidence whatsoever that Borsalino is his brother? Yes, indeed. And I had no clue at that point why it felt so important.
Hold on.
given what we
You said Vegapunk and Barcelona are brothers?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Totally with no evidence whatsoever, like nothing, nothing. Like nothing. I just went on a fly. It was just an idea I had randomly. I didn't know why even I believed it.
Yeah.
It just made sense to me. And then after I made this video, I was like, wait a second. I had this idea. This totally explains it all. Like it explains everything. So you can see where I'm going with this. Or you're gonna have a question.
That's
right
funny though, but because you think about it. Because what's the one guy named Sentomaro or Shooting? Not Shooting Tomorrow. Shooting Tomorrow is Sentomaro. Okay. Correct. Supposedly that's Kizaru's nephew. Now I don't know if it's like his real nephew, but you know he called him his uncle or whatever. And Sentomaro works heavily close with Vegapunk, pretty much as his bodyguard. So. And Vegapunk also used Kizaru as a, you know, for his for the Pacifista project. So there's definitely some connection with like a close connection with Kizaru and Vegapunk. At the very least, I don't know if I would say they're brothers. I'm not saying they're not either. I'm just saying I don't know how close their connection is, but I do believe there is a connection.
It's kind of interesting because the way you are thinking, I think you have internalized a certain thing about One Piece that like 90 to 95% of the community doesn't accept yet. And that is when Oda introduces a mystery. He gives you almost always the answer in the same chapter. You just didn't realize you give it the answer. Yeah. So there are connections within the chapter just by them being like shown together and like in relation. You understand that there's a backstory behind it that you don't know about, but later on find out. So I think you have internalized that Vegapunk actually being connected with Sentomaro and Kizaru. That has a backstory. Like it's like I think you gets this how One Piece is structured. Because this is like a cheat code, quite frankly. You can like cheat totally. If you realize this, I'm not kidding. For example, the Gorosei have been introduced in relation with Shanks meeting Whitebeard. So, you know, Shanks or Whitebeard have a connection with the Gorosei. And 700 chapter, you find this out. You were like, what the fuck? Because they were just introduced together in like the next panel directly. So it's like insane. It's like a cheat code in One Piece, realizing this shit.
Yeah. Let me
read. I think
you
get that internally. Like you get that already.
Let me read some because they still kind of talking about the Sanji flames.
They can't let it go of the blue flames. But now I understand why you mute the chat. You're like, I can't deal with this. I need 5 minutes to catch up.
Nah, I actually kind of find it interesting. Like Elsa Jack said, blue flames, any healing properties, right? And I guess this is because I actually thought about this when I seen the Sanji blue flames, and Angel Group said I think that's a special Marco thing. But
I was thinking about Marco too. Now you're making actually a point. Yeah.
But
fuck you.
Now
I'm crashing and then you make actually a point. What the fuck? Embarrassing.
But what did we talk about earlier, right? Like I talked about the theory, man, Elids with how people can make devil fruit abilities. You know, like Elid's theory is pretty much devil fruits is just a cheat code, right? It's just a way to cheat to not have to like master your hockey and earn your gain abilities. You just eat a fruit, you got these abilities. So
for Sanji, he can create lightning now too, like Luffy does, by the way. That has been like done with the Queen fight. He couldn't use lightning before. Now he can use fire and lightning. He did the finishing blow, and he also used lightning. So maybe healing properties in blue flames is possible too. If it's like another devil fruit now he also has. So maybe a third one is possible too.
Yeah. I mean, but I was pretty much saying maybe Sanji has he created the devil fruit that Marco has, like as far as like the blue flames and but I don't know, because I don't know if Sanji would be healing people, because then he kind of take Chopper's job.
Yeah, it doesn't seem in his character. He will like not heal man. He will not do it. He's like, fuck you. I can heal people. Fuck you. I'm not gonna do it.
I know, like Chopper's about to heal somebody, and Sanji be like, "Nope, got him first." Chopper would be mad. He'd be like, "Now I'm just useless on the team."
Exactly, can't happen. Not the Chopper.
Angel's Room said, "I think his blue flame are going to be more focused on damage." Well, yeah, I can see that, because when you think about it, blue flames are hotter than red flames. I think white flames are the hottest. Like if you could find a white flame, that would be hotter than you know. But yeah, the lighter the flame, the hotter it is, supposedly. So, but yeah, let's get back to the video though.
You know now,
Yeah.
and that Vegapunk's discovery in his early years suggests that he realized that they are made out of light. Does it beg the question that he found out by studying Borsalino's ability? Who has the light fruit, the thing that devil fruits are made of? You really think this is a coincidence? I would say it's almost a certainty, and that Oda intentionally gave Borsalino this devil fruit and the connection with Vegapunk, because that's what we will eventually find out is the case. Devil fruits are made out of human DNA, emotions, and light. And what do you need besides that to produce artificial devil fruits? Well, you need light. Bada bing, bada boom. And the funniest thing is, when I made that video, I had no evidence. But now I followed a certain plotline and came to the conclusion that I was indeed correct. Because let's talk about Kizaru's laser, the thing that has been incorporated into the Pacifista. Well, look at how Kizaru's laser looks like. Did this laser appear a few more times in the story? Yes indeed. Even recently with Queen and the whole Mats reveal, you can see Queen has that laser. Huh? Didn't Vegapunk join the world government only after Mats? So how could he have Kizaru's laser at that point already? Something doesn't make sense about that story. Does it indicate that Borsalino knew Vegapunk even before Mats? But furthermore, Frankie himself also has Kizaru's laser. Look at it. It looks the exact same way, and it's being referred to as a laser as well. How did Frankie obtain Kizaru's laser? Well, he got it from Vegapunk's laboratory when he was in his younger days, even before Mats. That proves that Borsalino was raised together with Vegapunk at Karakura Island. And wouldn't you know, Oda has drawn Borsalino at a very young age. And what is he doing? Borsalino, seemingly with no effort, is writing papers and reading tons of books, indicating he is a genius. And what is the island of genius? Well, it's Karakura Island. And what do you see in the background?
Oh boy, I know you go with this.
Borsalino was raised on a winter island, which we don't have many of in the story. So at the very least, we can definitively state Borsalino was raised together with Vegapunk, and it's possible that he is his little brother. Or if we combine this with the earlier stated idea of possible human experimentations, Borsalino might indeed be Vegapunk's clone. Oh yes, Vegapunk's backstory might be quite more spicy and outlandish.
I didn't think the clone though.
But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, tell me how you found this take in the comments down below. It was a lot of work, and I hope you read.
I wasn't thinking clone. Let me.
You weren't thinking clone. What were you thinking?
Hold on, let me like it real quick so we could get back.
Thank you very much.
Yes sir, yes sir. What was I thinking? Let me hold on real quick. Let me get out of here. Stop sharing. Okay, cool. I thought you was gonna say I mean you kind of did say it, but in a different way. I just thought you was gonna say like Borsalino is Vegapunk, which is pretty much what you said, but you said more so like Borsalino is a clone of Vegapunk, which is interesting. Which is interesting. I mean, I don't know.
By the way, just to bring it up, there's something exclusively mysterious about Vegapunk, and that is his head shape. I think he's the only character in the entire series since the beginning of One Piece who didn't get a silhouette from his face ever.
Oh, so you think
it's an exclusive thing for Vegapunk. For every character, Yonko, Shanks, Admirals, we always see the shape every single time. This never not happens. Only for Vegapunk, for some reason, his shape is important, or it could give away something.
You know something? You want to know something? Because I've been having a theory. Because Kizaru is like one of my favorite characters, right? Like you know, He's probably like my second favorite Marine, or no, maybe my favorite Marine, and then Garp is probably my second favorite Marine. But
wait, I thought you said Zoro. Zoro, you said somebody else.
no, I said Kizaru is like
Kizaru, okay.
He's like my favorite Marine. Like I love his laid back personality, and he just trolls people in my opinion. But I've had this theory, right? Because people always talk about the admiral. They always talk about like who's the strongest admiral, right? And a lot of people always kind of say Akainu or Aokiji because they're the ones who pretty much fought for the fleet admiral position. I always kind of attribute that I attribute it as Kizaru not being motivated enough to really want that type of position. Not saying he couldn't have had that position. I think he's strong enough. But I've always been of the belief that Kizaru might potentially be the strongest of those three admirals.
I can totally see that.
A lot of it because it's devil fruit. But when we look at anime patterns, right? It's like a lot of times the creator tend to hide, like when they hide a character's abilities for like a long period of time, especially one that you follow, that's usually because the creator might have something better for that character than maybe at a moment, right? So they don't, like Akainu, he had a big fight against Whitebeard, right? Like we seen kind of the extent of what Akainu could do. Aokiji, not so much, but we know that he is probably a hair weaker than Akainu because he lost to Akainu. We haven't seen Kizaru go all out yet. Like every time we see him, he's usually kind of like playing around, trolling. Rayleigh, I don't think he was fighting hard against Rayleigh. I think he was more concerned about trying to get the Straw Hats, like his mission. But Rayleigh was kind of in his way, and he was trying to get past him. And I don't think Rayleigh was fighting hard against Kizaru either. I think Rayleigh was just trying to hold Kizaru. But I've been of the belief.
Yeah, he had no chance. Let's be real. Rayleigh had no chance against Kizaru.
Yeah. If Kizaru was fully focused, I think I think Kizaru has a bigger role, right? Because I think there's one thing about the admirals. I think there's going to be a shift in the Marines, right? There's going to be Marines that kind of rebel, and then there's going to be the Marines that are still loyal to the world government, right?
Yeah.
Aokiji's not really a Marine no more, but I know he's going to be against the world government in the end. Akainu, now a lot of people might think that Akainu would probably be for the world government. If it's indeed split. But I kind of think Akaino's kind of tired of the world government's BS. Because a lot of times they do stuff like they step on his toes. They do stuff without his knowledge. And we see like a lot of time when Akainu comes from a meeting with the Gorosei, he's usually pretty pissed, right? He's usually always kind of mad at them. So I think there might be a case that Akainu could, in a sense, go against the world government. Now, I'm not saying that for sure, because, I still think he's going to be an enemy of Luffy, or because he did kill Ace, right? He killed Ace.
Yeah.
But,
that's really hardest, how to say, the hardest redemption arc story of all these redemption arc.
Now, I'm not saying give him a redemption. I'm not saying that. But
hey, I'm saying maybe. Maybe.
But think of this.
People don't see it coming.
I could see Kizaru being loyal to the world government and possibly being putting down Akainu, right? Like betraying Akainu. Like maybe Akainu think Kizaru is loyal to him, but then Kizaru kind of, stabs Akainu in the back. And I think I think there's some evidence to show that Kizaru could potentially be the strongest of those three admirals. Because I always think of this aspect in the Marine Fort. Each of the admirals all had some encounter with Whitebeard. Now, when Aokiji fought Whitebeard, Whitebeard kind of had the best of Akiji, right? Like,
yeah, of course, Whitebeard the best of all of them, right? Or did he not for Kizaru? That would interest me.
Now he got the best of Akainu in this fight, but the one time when they fought, when Kizaru and Whitebeard met, Kizaru was toying with Whitebeard. Like he stepped on his. He remember what was that weapon that Whitebeard got? It's like that staff with the blade.
I knew this one time.
He was stepping on it and he was just like shooting. He was shooting Whitebeard in his injury, and then that was pretty much the only. That was the only encounter they had.
So it's like low-key hint that Kizaru is the strongest. You mean?
I'm not saying I'm saying if you look at it from that aspect, he was the only one that was kind of.
You mean from facts? From facts. Like just looking at the data. You're just looking at the data.
He was toying with Whitebeard. That's pretty much what I'm saying. He was the only admiral that was toying with Whitebeard.
That's right.
Because
you can say that.
And he didn't really take any injuries. I think him and Mihawk are like the only two people who didn't get injured and like didn't get any sufficient injuries in Marineford. But interesting. I don't know, man. I think Oda might be saving Kizaru, man. Like he was toying with Supernova, which is the most we've seen of Kizaru when he was just playing around.
Yeah, he just murdered them all basically. All he just murdered them all. Like
casually. Yeah,
that's true. There's something to that.
I don't know. I
don't know why I even bought on the power level discussions. By the way, that would be interesting because I'm like not a power scaler, but at the same time I have the opinion, like total arrogance, that if I have like a debate with anybody about power scaling, I will like destroy them. Like because I'm like, how do you say? I don't know, maybe I just don't care. I just really don't care who is stronger than who. And that makes me the most objective. I don't know if that's what it is. I really don't care. Like, I really don't care. I just look at the facts in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but this is probably confirmation bias just on my part. But, like, every single time I interact with a power scaler, I feel like they don't even get, like, one hit in. And I just, like, murder them. Like, you know what I mean? I just have the facts and the logic on my side.
I look at One Piece as matchups. It's not really about like who's stronger. Sometimes it's matchups, right? Sometimes a weaker person could beat a stronger person if the matchup, like Luffy beating the Nil. But the reason why I brought up the Kizaru thing is because what you said kind of actually, I feel as though, because I've always said I feel as though there's something bigger for Kizaru that we just don't know, right? And if Kizaru is indeed a clone of Vegapunk, or his brother, or Vegapunk himself, they
incorporated Kizaru's laser and not Akainu's into the Pacifista. So there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just riling you on. I personally gotta be honest.
What's up?
Maybe, but from portrayal. From my feeling from portrayal, I think it's difficult. It's difficult to say that Kizaru, because I think Kizaru's a little bit more like he doesn't care. He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
So how can his willpower be stronger than Akainu? You know what I mean? It's like
I always
look like the.
I get what you're saying, but I always looked at it as a sense where Kizaru is just so beyond everything that like he has the. He has the privilege to be able to not care in fights, because it's like when you're so much vastly stronger than people, it's like
Mihawk. You like the Mihawk type characters. You like them.
Well, Mihawk, I just like him because
you're not denying it. You see, for everybody, he's not denying it.
No, I mean my reason.
Deny it too. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
My reason for Mihawk, why Mihawk has always been my favorite. A lot of it is kind of the introduction to Mihawk. It's like when I was watching One Piece, I'm kind of like, I'm like, oh, this cool anime, and then in comes Mihawk, and I just, he just had this badass intro, and I was just like, bro, this dude, he comes in on the boat, bro. He comes in over this grand line that they was building up to be like such a dangerous place to enter. Just entering
the ring has entered, the king.
And Mihawk is on a small boat, right? Mihawk on a small boat. he gets
He's
the
like
same
emo just cruising through the sea. It's like emo on an empty throne cruising through the sea.
Yeah. And he gets the same height as Shanks, and he doesn't have the crew. He doesn't have the ambition to, have all this territory. He just be chilling. But he gets the same height as Shanks almost. But yeah.
I guess I see it with the argument. I think that's applicable to Kizaru in a certain way.
Yeah, Kizaru, I like the laid back personality because I'm, I always looked at myself as laid back, so it's like I always like that laid backness.
And there is something to be said about unclear justice because I think only Kizaru understands justice from the original admirals because Akaino's wrong and Aokiji is wrong. Lazy justice doesn't do shit, that's retarded. Absolute justice is shit, that's retarded. But his unclear justice actually makes sense because justice is not clear. And that is what actually it's reiterated in the series. Justice is sometimes not clear. Smoker doesn't know what to do. Tashigi doesn't know what to do. They're like, you sometimes have to make your own decision. He is actually in the correct position.
Yeah.
Kizaru, like the other two admirals, they're like delusional and wrong. Yeah. But Kizaru gets it. And by the way, that's why he is the enlightened devil fruit. Yellow associated with it. There is something to be said about that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's that. Let me read some of these these
chats. I have more questions. By the way, I have like not even half my questions I even asked.
Yeah, I haven't asked my questions, but I might have to cause I gotta get ready for this other stream soon.
Right.
I mean, maybe. Hey, holla at Eliz, maybe. Probably could jump on that too. But let me read these chats. They say. Angel's Room says so. Vegapunk is the original Pika Pika no Mi user. Possibly. I mean, if they clones, it could be. That would also explain Kizaru's laid back personality. He was created to follow orders. Maybe. I mean, that's a good way. That's an interesting perception on the topic. Elson Jackson said Murakuma Giri. And then Angel Room said, but the Gorosei said Aokiji was the strongest admiral before Marineford. Okay. I mean, I don't remember that part, but okay. Elson Jackson said that feat. He lost to Akaino, so maybe at one point he was the strongest. There may have been a time, possibly. But again, if Kizaru is hiding his true ability, then Elsa Jackson said that feat alone confirms Mihawk conquers Haki. Angel's Room said, and since Rayleigh said the quickest way to get stronger is fighting stronger people, since Akainu had the hardest battle against Whitebeard, that would explain why he was stronger than Aokiji after Marineford. All right. Rage says if Kizaru is the brother of Vegapunk and Kizaru is considered Sentamaru's uncle, then Vegapunk could be Sentamaru's father, hinting towards Sentamaru being an artificial human. I think he's underrated. Sentamaru wink.
Reg loves Sentamaru, which we respect. He's like a diehard Sentamaru fan. He doesn't let go. I'm not kidding. He's like, we are talking about, I don't know, the weather, and then he brings Sentamaru, and he's like, hey, he loves him, which is respectable. I'm not dissing. This is totally respectable.
Hey, we was talking about him. It was his opportunity. Yeah. I made people talk like
let's go. He just waited for this moment.
Yeah, that's
by the way.
Go ahead.
I have another question for you. I've written this down because I think you're into Mihawk, and you are like hinted to the idea that he might be royalty or related to Emo or something like this. And then I wanted to ask you, like, you're probably aware that like he's Dracul Mihawk and Dracul Dracula.
Yeah.
Real life implication. Dracula is Ivan the Impaler, I think he's called. Ivan the Impaler.
Yeah, Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad Impaler, or Vlad Impaler, sorry.
But they say they're the same person. Some in some aspects.
Yeah, and then he's like from the Order of the Dragon, all of that stuff that ties then into the, how they say, real life power structure of the world, our world I'm talking about, because Vlad the Impaler is believed, for example, the royal line, the British royal line comes from Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
It's like literally the kings of the world, the highest society, has the same blood as Dracula, like Dracula.
Yeah.
So there is something to the idea of him being royalty. There's like a real life implication here. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah. He lives in the castle as well. You know,
exactly.
Was that inherited, or was it just some place he kind of squat in? You know, like just like, hey, it's this empty castle.
This feels appropriate. He's like, this feels appropriate. Like this castle.
I kind of believe that E might be an alien though, because if you look at like the Anel cover story, there's a bunch of there's these space pirates, right? These space pirates, and you know they kind of look weird, right? Like they got like weird bodies, and they kind of like dogs though. So, but I don't know. You know,
I think we will talk about this next time, because I just thought like you are almost talking for 3 hours. You will be destroyed if we keep talking, and then you have another stream for 2-3 hours.
Yeah,
that's a little much. I think though.
But yeah, let's
consider it.
Let's definitely get back at the, you know what I mean, do another stream.
Sure.
You know, maybe we could add
definitely fun.
Maybe we could add some more, you know. Maybe we could add like another person, another 1 or 2 people. I don't want to have too many people though, because I've had like streams with a lot of people, and that's hard to
hard to already much, dude. 4 is already much, man. That's like 3, I think that's like the right balance, I think.
Yeah. All right, so
if Alex will come on or something like this would be, I think, the trio.
The what?
If Alex comes on the next time,
yeah,
we're gonna make it with him too or something like this. So we have 2 different streams, then we combine it into, I don't know, 1.
Yeah, maybe next stream I'll bring Elids. I'll try to see if Elids is available, because sometimes you know he got things, you know, so I can't. But yeah,
I think he will like grinding beam my videos, and next time he's gonna talk to me and go, Best Generation, you gotta talk to me.
Hey,
tell me going with this whole idea, motherfucker. Tell me.
Hey, save those questions. You know something? I don't have any topic for tomorrow. I mean, if you're available, I usually do chapter discussions on Sundays, but tomorrow I'm like, I don't know what to do. So, you know, but that's going to be like 4, that's going to be around like 4 p.m. my time, which is like 30 minutes ago. It would have started
30 minutes ago. If it's gonna end in like 1 hour from now on, or if it's like 1.5 hours, it's fine. Or if how they say, 1 hour from now is basically my deadline. Then I have to be already asleep for work. So
about 6 or okay, 1 from So that's usually about how my things usually last like 2 hours. So
so that would be, I think,
we could
fit all.
Yeah, we could do another one or whatever, you know. That's fine. But hey, shout out, you know, give your anything else you want to say, anything you're working on. I'll give you let you.
Well, I'm about to release first of all, the channel is Best Generation on YouTube, on Twitch, Best Generation YT, Twitter, Best Generation or _ Best Generation, excuse more. Yeah, my next project will be the Joy Boy thing, like the whole situation with the face. Like, what the fuck is up with Luffy's face? Well, we're gonna try to puzzle this one out, because I claim that we expected this. Like, everybody goes crazy, we expected this. I'm like, this is exactly my type of crazy. Like, I think we get it now, where this whole situation is heading. So the video is already, filmed. We're cutting and editing right now. So yeah, that's gonna be finished, and it's gonna be up till next Monday, Tuesday next week. So that's what people can expect from the Best Generation.
All right, y'all. Well, his YouTube channel will be linked in the description box. So definitely go to his channel, show him some love. Go follow him on Twitter and all his other social media. Thank you, Best Generation, for coming through to chat with me. It was good to. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed the video.
It was good, right?
I'm definitely willing to do it again if you want to do it again. Yeah. Let's see. Angel's Room say he sent the scan in Discord. Elson Jackson said, "Yeah, boy, that be fire." Angel's Room said, "Great stream, man." Elson Jackson said, "Appreciate the stream. Awesome work, my guys." And y'all, I'm about to be doing a stream on Elid's channel, so y'all make sure y'all go there. ELIDZ. So y'all go there. I'm gonna be doing that in like the next 10 minutes. Make sure you like the stream. Subscribe. Also go like the video that we reacted to on his channel. I'm gonna go put that link in the description box as well. I haven't yet. So yeah. Anyway, y'all go like the page or go like the channel, go subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. I am out. Y'all take it easy.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye everyone.